So what are you saying about the boys?
The Boys is a good show, but I'm very worried that because of its random burst of popularity, it's gonna get like extended beyond its shelf life because the comic has a very definite beginning, middle, and end. And I'm worried that because the show is doing so well, they'll be like, "Well, maybe we can milk it for an extra season here or there." You know, just throw in a filler season about some extra side thing and
So what
just
you're saying
postpone
is
the
that you're
ending as
worried
long as
that it will
possible.
become The Walking Dead.
Well, I don't even know if the Walking Dead comic has ended yet. I hope it has. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna look that up. Is the Walking Dead comic still ongoing?
We're talking about the TV show.
Uh oh, I guess it ended in July 2019. Well, that's good. It was garbage. There was like the Walking Dead started off so strong, and like then it kind of ran into its own premise being flawed, which is like Robert Kirkman was like, I want to see the day to day life and adventures of, people living in a zombie apocalypse. But honestly, there's only so much you can do with that. All right, we gotta kill this big group of zombies or survive. We're trapped in this location and there's zombies outside. There's a rival group of humans that we gotta fight while the zombies, like, gnaw at our ankles in the background. One of us has been bitten. What should we do, gang? And that's it. Like that's the entire stretch of that whole premise, unless you add something stupid like, oh, also there are aliens, or oh, there's superheroes in the zombie pod. Oh, they're magic zombies, and we have a guy with a chainsaw hand who can fight them. Like Walking Dead really had like only a certain amount of things it could do, and then it just started repeating itself for like 10 years. No, even long, like something like 15 years. It was horrible. And then the show basically was just like, all right, the show got super popular like the boys, and it was like, okay, let's stretch this out as long as we can. So let's take a like single issue where they just hang out at a farm and then make that 12 episodes. I shit you not, it's like 6 pages of them at a farm before zombies show up and trash the place and they leave, and they made that into 12 hours of story for the show. It was horrible. Nothing happened. So with
So
the
anyway, for
boys
you
getting
guys
all
who are
popular,
so anyway for you
yeah,
guys who
hold
are just joining the stream, Xavier is talking about how of the sins of The Walking Dead and how we should avoid them when we are how the boys should avoid them if now that it's like a real like hit popular thing because Amazon is going to milk this horse until it's dead.
milk this dead horse until it's dead.
Of course, that's mixing metaphors right there, but who gives a shit?
You're gonna beat this cow.
Until it's become a dead horse.
You're gonna beat the milk out of this. Oh no, never mind.
Oh no,
Oh
that's even
no.
worse.
Oh dear. How dreadful.
Oh no.
I really hope the Invincible TV show is good.
The what?
Or the Invincible, the other Robert Kirkman thing. It also ends
Oh
up
yeah,
having the same problem. Is that
that was that trailer you showed
Robert?
me, right?
Yeah, yeah. It again, it's a cool ass premise. Um, but it has the same problem as Walking Dead, is that Robert Kirkman doesn't know when's a good time to end his story, and a lot of them tend to run a little bit long, and then it starts to kind of like get boring in the middle. Um, but I still think Invincible overall is really cool by comparison. You
Mm-hmm.
stop it! Stop!
There's probably a little bit more meat
Stop
to the
it!
premise as well.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on because there's a lot more you can do with just like your own superhero universe. Um, just because there's like, long arcs of, oh, aliens are invading and we got to stop them, or oh, this supervillain is going to take over the world. It's just like you can do more with it because superhero universes are just kind of this area where you can just do anything. Like every idea just kind of works if done well.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can stretch that out a little longer than the zombie thing. But
do you think the boys can be stretched out, or?
No, because The Boys isn't like a traditional superhero universe in that like aliens and magic and shit are real. It's much more like Heroes or like the X-Men solo universe where there's only X-Men. Where it's like people get superpowers from one thing. There's like kind of only one group of villains that, come into and out of power, and like one group of heroes that can take them down. The Boys does not have this expansive, massive universe. In fact, that's kind of a joke in the comic itself, is that they try to give the public the idea that this world is massive and there's tons of shit going on that they don't even see. So like there's this arc where they're basically kind of parodying like a big superhero comic book event where Homelander announces, "Oh, there's aliens invading, and me and all the other heroes are going to be off planet for a few days. So take care of things on the home front, gang. We'll be back soon." And then they just go to a private island and just have a bunch of orgies and just hang out on the beach and get drunk. And then, and because they party so hard every year, there's always one random superhero who overdoes it and like dies during the party, like just ODs or something. And then they come back and then like have like a big announcement. It's like, in saving the world, so and so sacrificed himself to destroy the alien horde, and as such, all of you are safe because of him. We will be building a statue in his honor. When he just like overdosed on heroin or fell out a window from the hotel. It's like the joke is that there is no world building. The world building is a lie. It's all one thing. So again, I don't really like that they're like, we're gonna do a spin-off show for The Boys, where it's like a bunch of young superheroes at a camp doing like some kind of Hunger Games thing to get into a big superhero team as the reward. I just I'm not interested in that, you know?
You know?
I feel like I'm talking to myself. You could like just smile and nod maybe.
You do know who I am, right? You do know that that's not something I really do.
You could do that active listening thing that your mom does.
Who?
You just go,
yeah, yeah,
Who?
absolutely, yeah.
Who are you talking about?
your mom.
Who's
it made
that?
My mom's so nervous. She was like, Am I having the conversation wrong? It's like, no, you're good. What part of Half-Life are you even at? Are you still in City 17 trying to kill everyone?
No, I'm in Half-Life Episode 1.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, we're trying to get out of the city post-explosion.
Exactly.
This is the part... Okay, you gotta shoot the ball up into the sniper's nest, and then it'll just bounce around his room and kill him.
Oh.
Let me take a look at the chat.
Hello, Kian.
Right.
Hello, Socially Inept Spider-Man. Hello, Aiden Rodriguez and Anthony LaMonica. And hello, Mr. Person. Welcome all and thank you for your viewership.
Anthony LaMonica says, David, you should read Dune.
I already have.
Yeah, there you go.
Like 5 years.
I
read it like
to read
sophomore year of high school, so that'd be like, I have no idea how many years ago that would be. But like, that was almost 7 years ago, so it's been a while. It would be interesting to reread it as an adult, but I have read it.
Yeah. I would like to sit down and read it at some point. But I don't know if I have time for it is the problem.
Well, it's
like,
not that big
between...
long of a book, actually. It's just that all the sequels get really long. And honestly, in my opinion,
Okay.
the first book works well enough as a standalone story that you don't really need to
go,
read the
like, have
sequel.
like the series.
You don't
Yeah.
need to read the series. You can, and there's some good stuff in there, and it gets real fucking weird. Like, real fucking weird. But, like, it's a
I'm
self-contained
thinking
story.
I'll just like get an audiobook, honestly.
Do it.
Like
and listen to it while you're, like, editing
I
or
could just...
something.
Yeah, I could listen to it while I'm editing or like recording gameplay footage or something, or just like running on the treadmill. It's just like, with my schedule right now, it's kind of hard to just sit down. Like, I barely even been able to read comic books for like the last year, just because, you know, I can hardly buy them anymore, and then because everything's closed, and I'm afraid to leave my fucking house. But also it's just like, just difficult to find the time because you always got a million things to work on.
That's true.
Gotta get that bread.
So anyway, would you guys like to hear? I posted this on Twitter, but would you guys like to hear about my experience watching Robert Zemeckis' The Witches 2020, starring Anne Hathaway?
Is that who?
Robert Zemeckis, the Robert Zemeckis, directed that movie.
The Back to the Future man.
Yeah,
the guy who
yeah.
does good stuff.
Well, he hasn't done good stuff in like 20 years. Because if you'll remember, he was the one who also directed the Beowulf animated movie.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Yeah, and it's that level of Robert
what?
Zemeckis that we're talking about. It's
the reason I didn't know Zemeckis did is because I have HBO Max and it was on there and it just said Roald Dahl's The Witches, and I just haven't heard that name before, so I thought that was the director.
No. Roald Dahl was the guy who wrote the book.
Yeah, I figured that out just now.
Like, he's the guy who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He wrote Matilda. He wrote The Twits. He wrote
the BFG, the big
BFG,
fucking gun.
James and the Giant Peach. And he wrote
the
a bunch
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Also, he wrote a bunch of, like, really, really, really fucked up, like, adult short fiction. Like, his stuff is, like, really terrifying, really scary, his adult fiction. I've heard. I haven't read it.
That's cool.
So, 2020's The Witches, starring Octavia Spencer and Anne Hathaway, directed by Robert Zemeckis. Do you want to guess what other famous filmmaker has a screenplay credit on the film? Imagine a filmmaker who would have made a really interesting version of it.
Tim
Who would have
Burton?
been a good... Nope. You're in the right league, though.
Thinking of Tim Burton-esque guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. John Carpenter?
No.
No. Are we? It's something like really stylistic, right?
Yeah. Somebody who makes really good original films, and who makes really good comic book films, and whose sequels to his work have generally been very bad.
Oh, Matthew Vaughn?
No.
No?
Guillermo del Toro, you fucking idiot!
Oh no, Guillermo del Toro. Oh, that would have been cool. You're right.
Yes,
You said sequels to his work, and I thought of Kick-Ass 2 was a sequel.
You should have thought of
Matthew
Blade 3, Pacific Rim Uprising, and the Hellboy reboot.
It's like every time you try to replace something Guillermo del Toro has touched and leave him out of it, it sucks.
Exactly.
That's granted, he doesn't have a perfect track record. I think Hellboy 2: The Golden Army is a steaming pile of garbage.
But it's better than. But you have to admit, it's better than the Hellboy 2020.
Oh, Hellboy 2020. That one was. I watched that one on the airplane when I went to go visit Anna, and like, I was getting bored and wanted to like turn it off, but I was like, I have literally nothing to do on this plane. I might as well finish it. But like, fuck, man, it's so like it's trying so hard to be Deadpool. It's so edgy and in your face and action, punching, violence, swearing, cutting people in half with swords. This giant monster's gonna impale a guy with his dick. Like it's so try hard. When that's not Hellboy at all. Hellboy is a detective that
but anyway,
finds ghosts.
Anyway, so Guillermo del Toro had a screenplay cut on it because he was going to direct it like 10 years ago, but then he decided not to for whatever reason. And now it was directed by Robert Zemeckis because Robert Zemeckis hasn't been having a great, shall we say, great run of it the past 10 years or so. He's had up and down creatively, but his box office returns haven't been as high as they were in the classic era. So I see this as his attempt to make like a really more commercial film, you know, to get back some cred, so that he can get his other projects greenlit.
One for me, one for them.
Exactly. And so he did that. He directed this movie. And it's the most weird, bad shit, crazy thing you've ever seen in your life. It's honestly, like, amazing.
I don't know anything about The Witches. Can you give us, like,
The Witches,
a little explanation?
So The Witches is one of Roald Dahl's later works. So it's not like one of his like most famous works or anything. But it's all about this family, right? And this kid in the original book, he loses his parents. So then he lives with his grandmother, and his grandmother is like this kind of like more spiritual, well, not really like spiritual figure. She's weird and more supernatural, and she adopts him under her wing, and she tells him about like the witches, you know, because in this universe witches exist. And witches are these like these women who hate children, and they have like magical supernatural powers. But specifically, they hate kids because kids smell bad to them. So like their only objective in life is to murder children. And then
sounds like millennials.
Yeah, and then his aunt and him go to a hotel because his grandmother becomes sick, and they say, okay, you need to go to this hotel, a fancy hotel at the beach, to get some like beach air and rest, and you know how it be. So that happens, and then you know, so that and but coincidence of all coincidences, the exact same hotel that these two people are staying at is the hotel that the witches are having their annual conference at. So it's like literally the witch convention.
It's WitchCon 2019.
Exactly. Like unironically, it's WitchCon 2019, and that happens. And then they have to confront the Grand High Witch, who has this like super extra mega evil plan to turn all children into mice with this potion. Like she says the witch is like, oh, you'll buy your sweet shops and like sell candies to kids, and then turn them into mice because you'll spike them with my little potion. And then the main character breaks into this meeting, and he finds out what they're doing. And then he teams up with his grandma now that and they turn him into a mouse in the meeting, but he escapes. And then he teams up with his grandma and this other kid who's also turned into a mouse to stop the witches. You know, pretty simple, pretty basic stuff, right?
I do like the idea of a grandma being the team up hero character because, like, every fucking movie it's always like dad or grandpa lately, you know.
Mm-hmm. So that's the general gist of the premise.
Let
And
let the grandmas do cool stuff. They can help. They can fight ghosts and shit.
You can't get through here while that sniper's covering the street.
additionally, what happens with
Gone silent.
additionally, what happens with this story is that is that there's so the movie there's originally a movie version released in the early '90s, I think, with
It
directed
was
by
1990.
by a filmmaker called Nicholas Roeg, who's like an English filmmaker. But the thing that's interesting about him is that he's like a real movie maker. He like makes movies for adults and shit. So like he has a very distinct sort of directorial vision with this movie. And what he does with it is that he makes the original version very grounded and very like mature in a really interesting way. But then the new version is like just complete insanity. So like the Grand High Witch, right? In the original book, she's like this like vaguely like Norwegian, Eastern European sort of person, and
Yeah.
then in the new movie, Anne Hathaway is sporting the most outrageous like Scandinavian accent you've ever heard. There's a scene where she says "No garlic on the soup." And there's this whole bit about the hotel manager not understanding her saying "garlic," and also so like the witches, right? There's this whole section in the book about how you'll discover, you know, witches are identifiable by the fact that they're all bald, they wear wigs, they all don't have toes on their feet, and they all wear gloves because they have claws or whatever, right? Pretty simple. But
Yeah.
and then in the movie they add on to that this weird like thing like they have no toes, but they also have like one claw as a toe. Like they have one toe, but it's like this claw. And then they added this weird like snake motif where the Grand High Witch has this dress that's also got like a live snake on it. And also they also have like they can open their mouths like really really wide to like up to their ears. They have like these Joker smiles constantly. It's so weird.
That sounds to me as like some producers like this doesn't seem weird enough. We need to spice it up and make them even more magical so the audience really gets it.
Also, so like they made some weird changes with the backstory as well. Because, well, first of all, you know, they changed the backstory from Norwegian and England to Norway and England to 1960s rural Alabama, and like that's fine. It's fine. Whatever. There's no problem with
Well, it's
that.
because they
But
were they trying to make it like voodoo magic?
yes, they were actually, because that's another weird change that they make. Where in the backstory of the movie, there's this bit where it's revealed that the grandma character used to be like a real used to be a witch hunter, but then in the new movie they make it to be she's a voodoo like priestess, but she's like good.
What?
Yeah, it's like so weird, and she has like all these magic potions and formulas and it's no reason, and it has nothing to do with anything else, and they also like made it so like there's this this other character in the book the main character has like pet mice and he likes to train them, right? So in the movie they made it so that his mouse was coincidentally a kid that was also previously turned into a mouse by witches. Now forget for a second that that according to the canon of these movies, there's a that this is a new plan that the Grand High Witch wants them to do, and not like another plan, not like an old plan or anything. So
No, like
forget
a
that.
new thing.
Forget
it's
that
not
it's
like
a
a thing that they've been doing. Like
Exactly.
tradition.
Exactly. So forget that for a second. There is also this other, like, it's so weird that like there's this other girl. So it's like this other girl who's played by, what's her name? played by, oh my
Is it
god,
someone I would recognize? Because I don't
Kristen
know.
Chenoweth for no reason, and then
I don't know.
she's like
I
she's
knew
like
it.
an important actress, whatever. So, but she's like this kid who's like turned into she's like an orphan that was turned into a mouse for no reason. But she could previously speak up. She just never chose to for some reason. Again, no explanation as to why. But who cares? And so at the end of the movie, right? All the two kids are turned into mice, along with Kristen Chenoweth, who already was a mouse, and it's revealed at the end of the movie that so Chris Rock was a narrator throughout the whole movie, but it's revealed at the end of the movie that the whole narration was a framing device of Chris Rock as a mouse because he grew old as a mouse, and his grandmother going across the nation recruiting little children into fighting witches.
Huh?
And like using like the potions that they get from it to like fight witches. And like also at the end of the movie they could so the parents of the other kid are these like really snobby British parents, right? And there's a big like bit in the original movie and in the original book about them like confronting his parents who are kind of snobby with, oh look, I'm not your ideal son that you wanted me to be, blah 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 blah, emotional moment. In the new movie, they completely reject him, and then they're just like, yeah, just be like mouse parents with me, and like, so Octavia Spencer like adopts this other girl for like this other guy. So they're like a mouse family now, and then they're just mice for the rest of their lives for no reason.
So they're just gonna be mice forever?
Yeah, and they're like recruiting children to fight witches.
Were they trying to make this like a franchise where they could have like? Was that their attempt at sequel bait? Is like now? Oh, now the rest of the witches are gonna. Can you hear me? I think Discord's crashing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me shoot out the latch.
Uh-oh.
I might be a little rusty with this rifle.
Hello?
Nope, guess I'm not.
Hello? Oh no, I gotta defeat these aliens. I'm here.
Hello?
Hello,
Okay, there we
I'm
go.
here.
Alright, well, I was just saying, is that their attempt at sequel bait? Like, they're gonna do, like, a franchise where they just stay mice forever and keep fighting witches throughout
I
many
have
sequels?
no idea. But, like, the way that they... It's just, like... It's honestly hard to explain how, like... So, how bizarre this movie is. Like, here's an example, right? So there's, So in the new, in the movie, they say that the hotel room of the main characters is a hotel room 766, but it's on the 4th floor of the hotel.
Okay.
Because apparently the hotel person who believed in like numerology, and that means that like he believed that like numbers have meaning, so like he created room number 766 on the 4th floor because it means that there's going to be a great challenge.
What?
Yeah,
This is already so confusing.
it's so confusing. And like so the structure and the pacing of the movie is also just really weird and confusing cuz so the movie begins with like Chris Rock addressing the audience saying, "Hey, witches are real." Okay, that's fine. I get it. But then it goes to this like 20-minute, 30-minute segment where it's just all about the main character, this little boy, and Octavia Spencer bonding after the death of his mother. So like, so then that's like just like 30
kind
minutes.
Of a downer for your fun witch movie.
So then you completely forget about witches for like 30 minutes, and then a witch shows up.
Completely fucking sidetracks.
Yeah, and then a witch shows up. But the problem is that they haven't told us before then how to identify witches and what they are. So we're like completely confused about this like woman who shows up with like this snake coming out of her arm or something. It's like we kind of think that there might be a witch, but like still we have no idea how to identify a witch. Because like
So it would have been more fun if they were like, okay, here's how you identify one. Be on the lookout, and then you
exactly,
get like sucked
and then
into
you
this,
see
like,
one, so
more
you're
human
like
story, and then you see one, you're like, oh, that's one of them. I know the sign. Then
exactly,
you'd feel like you're like actively watching.
and that's what the original does. That's what the original movie does.
Oh.
But like the new movie, and then after we meet the witch for the first time, then we're told what witches are, and then we're told how to identify one, and then instead of going to the hotel because for the health of the mom, for the health of the grandma, I mean, they go to escape the witch. But it's like, why? Why do you
Why
think
go
that?
there?
And their excuse is that witches only go after kids who don't have anybody who will defend for them. So going to a rich hotel for white people will solve things for like now. But that doesn't make any sense.
Is there like some kind of weird, kind of fucked up kind of commentary there, implying that like only white people protect their kids?
No, it just. I don't think
What-
so. I don't think so. I just think that the people who wrote this movie have no idea what they're doing. And, like, they tried to make it about racism, but, like, it's not really about racism. And so they show up at the hotel, and they're like, but also, another really weird thing is that they get rid of the plot about the grandma being sick and having diabetes, because now she's just coughing randomly for no reason. And they insist it might be supernatural, but also, like, they never explain it, and they never resolve it. So she's just, like, coughing a lot for no reason.
Witch cancer. It's a type of cancer that only witches can get.
No, she's not a witch.
I'm sorry. Voodoo sorceress. I don't know. It's confusing.
There you go.
How you doing in the old Half-Life there, fella?
Not very good, not very good.
Are you winning, son?
I'm not your son. I'm your dad.
Whoa! Big reveals here on stream. You heard it here first. Holy shit. Call TMZ.
I am become TMZ.
Gross. That sounds painful.
I'm not having very much success with this grenade that I need to use, so that's the problem right now. So what else about the witches would be interesting? Oh yeah. Just, so like, it's honestly hard to tell how many, like, also another thing is like the style of the movie. Because in the original 1990s movie, it's very low-key filmmaking. It feels almost like a documentary in some sense. It's got a very restrained sort of sensibility to it. It's very grounded. It's very realistic. And that's honestly what sells the movie for me, is the way that it makes it feel very real. And then this new movie is very fantastical, it's very silly, it's very sort of over the top. But the problem there is that you never ground us in this situation, so everything that happens feels like the weirdest shit ever, because you never established the sort of background, like, normalcy of this plot.
Yeah. I mean, in screenwriting class, they say that's one of the first things you should do, is establish normal so that the audience understands the stakes when that is interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
If
But
there
in this
no
movie, there
normal,
is
then
no normal.
There's no stakes.
It just feels like it feels like an acid trip of a movie, honestly. So I honestly highly recommended it. I had a lot of fun. Honestly, I had
It
so
was
much
fun
fun.
in the way that it was batshit insane.
Exactly.
Didn't know what it was doing. All right, cool. I think we can all get behind that. What was that other one that came out earlier this year? You did a video on it. I forget the title of it.
Artemis
It was
Fowl.
the kid who kidnaps fairy tale
Artemis
creatures.
Fowl.
What? Huh? Say that again.
Artemis
Discord cut you off.
Fowl.
Artemis's asshole. Yeah, that one. That one. It sounds like another one of them's.
No, because this one is actually entertaining. Watching Artemis Fowl feels like the experience of watching Artemis Fowl honestly gave me a headache. It's Artemis Fowl is virtually unwatchable. Okay?
Ooh.
It's that bad. But this I honestly highly recommend. It is truly art.
It's funny bad.
Yeah.
There's some entertainment to be ripped from it.
And honestly, so much of it is just secondhand embarrassment for everybody who's in it, you know? Like, this child actor is good. Like, these child actors are good. And you're like, what are you doing?
Why are you in this?
And poor Anne Hathaway, like, she gives this her all, but it's so, her direction is so bad. Like, she has this awful, like, fake Norwegian accent that she's given. Cause Angelica Houston, who played the Grand High Witch in the original, she's very silly, but but the character takes herself seriously. But, like, constantly, this movie is inviting you to laugh at Anne Hathaway. It's kind of amazing.
So, does Anne Hathaway's character take herself seriously or no?
Yeah, I mean, she kind of does, but she also kind of doesn't, in a weird way. But it's very inconsistent.
So would you say the movie, like, tries too hard to be, like, funny and quirky and then, like, flops because of that, or?
That's part of it. It's part of it.
Okay.
It's part of it. I think it's
What the hell happened to Zemeckis, man? That guy had so much talent.
I have no idea.
It's not like he can't do this stuff.
Honestly, for me, I just think it's a product of just having of this movie being in development for so long. Honestly, because there's so many different scripts that have become just one hodgepodge. Because there's 3 credited screenwriters, so, like, it becomes just such a, like, nightmare Franken movie.
What is it lately with, like, you know, big book adaptations, like young adult kind of stuff getting adapted, but there's just, like, too many cooks in the kitchen, it turns into a big monster mess?
Well, I mean, these are the Artemis Fowl and The Witches do have that in common, at least, because they're both like, both of these scripts have been on the back burner for like 20 years, basically. So there's something very similar in that they have the same sort of backstory.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. It's... Where did you go?
Kind of depressing.
It's what?
Hold on, let me look at the screen. It's kind of depressing.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's depressing, because I had so much fun with The Witches. It's kind of... It feels like watching a Neil Breen movie. Have you watched a Neil Breen movie?
Yes.
You know how when you're watching a Neil Breen movie, you constantly have no idea what's going on, and you're constantly insanely confused by everything?
A little bit.
It's like that. It's like this sense of like heightened surrealism, you know? And that is very entertaining. So, is there anything interesting in the chat? Could you check the chat for me, Xavier?
Sure thing. Let's see. Hey guys, how y'all doing? From Golden Cap Man. Hey man.
Hello, Golden Cat Man.
Jacques is here. Socially Enough Spider-Man. Do you think it's the Christopher Nolan paradox, where an artist starts believing their own hype and starts making garbage?
Or maybe it's the
That's
the
an
fact.
interesting point.
No, I think it's slightly related to that, which is Zemeckis. He's a very well connected guy. So he's friends with Steven Spielberg. You know, Spielberg's produced Back to the Future back in the day. So he has friends who enable him to do whatever he wants, and they don't give him feedback. You know, they aren't willing. It's the George Lucas effect of being in a room full of yes men, I think, because he has these like.
If you have an idea that doesn't work, no one's gonna call you out on it. They're all just going to say, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, boss." So there's a lot of people in Hollywood who got to a high position because someone told them, "Hey, maybe you could work on this idea a little bit more and like improve it." And then they did, and then it turned out great. And then something like, you know, many decades later, people will stop telling them to improve things, so they just think that they don't need to try, and then it's very obvious that they needed someone
Exactly,
to tell them,
and I
"Hey,
think the salient example with
fix
Christopher
this."
Nolan, as you mentioned, is that Christopher Nolan, he used to co-write his scripts with like his brother, you know, Jonathan Nolan, and he also had
I think he was in the credits for Memento.
he also had like David Goyer working on some of the Batman scripts, so he had other people in the room who were like being like, okay, let's try something else. But with his last two movies, he wrote them himself, by himself. So with that, it's like he you know, in many ways, the sort of off, you know, the myth of the auteur is something of a construct, you know, and it's who is able to make themselves the focus of the conversation in a movie, you know, and Christopher Nolan has very successfully done that for himself. So he has made himself the guy in the room who can take all the credit for everything going right. So because of that, he can do whatever he wants.
Oof.
Now, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Man, movies are hard.
They are hard, and you need people to help you with them.
You need help. You need friends.
Yes,
I used to have friends.
I did. I used to have friends too.
And then they all went to different colleges and then stopped hanging out.
Yeah, I don't
The
hang
only
out with you
times They ever
anymore.
want to talk to me. The only times they ever want to talk to me is when they want me to appear on their live streams.
Shut up and be funny.
I'm
I'm not paying you to not. I'm not paying you to complain about your life. I'm paying you to be funny.
You're not paying me at all.
I'm paying you with friendship.
You're doing it wrong.
I'm doing what wrong?
Give me more friendship.
I will. Once you be more funny. It's your fault for not being funny enough.
See, Kian in the chat says, "Where's the funny Xavier?" Kian. Xavier, joke about sandwiches.
Joke about turkey sandwiches.
There's a turkey sandwich that everyone will be getting in 3 weeks.
Isn't that exciting?
What turkey sandwich is that?
I can't remember. It's a turkey sandwich, Miles Morales.
Oh. Which turkey sandwich, though?
What? Huh?
Is it going to be like extra beef or what?
I don't know. Like some kind of commentary on there being a black guy? Are you saying that he has more beef than Peter Parker?
What?
Peter's beef reserves are minuscule compared to the Chad Miles Morales.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know! You said it first!
I don't know what I said.
Exactly. That's the problem, David. You never know what you said.
I'm sorry for being funny.
What?
Sorry for being funny. I refuse to apologize
You know
for
what?
being...
Hey, man. You don't got to apologize for that. Don't worry.
Fuck you.
Very sad.
Why are you sad?
Lots of reasons.
Are you sad
Primarily
because...
that we're still playing Half-Life after 10 years.
That's not something to be sad about. That's something to be happy about, because it's a good game, you know? If William were here, and you heard him shit-talking Half-Life like this, you and him would no longer be friends.
Man, I wish he was here right now.
Why is that? Tell me.
You get it? You get it?
What?
I didn't mean. I was saying, man, I wish he was here right now.
No, I don't, actually. I want you to spell out the joke for me.
Oh, okay. I was implying that I didn't want to be friends with him anymore, so I wish he had heard me saying disparaging things about the Half-Life series.
Oh.
So that we would have a falling out over it.
Oh. Oh.
You know?
No, I don't, actually.
Who are you people?
Who are you who?
Let me look back at the chat for something hopefully entertaining.
Can you imagine if I were entertaining?
Bro, that'd be crazy.
Imagínatelo.
So, except for Half-Life, are there any games you guys are playing?
I got
I've been
back into
replaying the
Minecraft.
Uncharted series.
I got back into
get back
Minecraft
into
lately.
Minecraft, but I can't. I can't. There's too much sadness there.
Why?
Because
Why is
I spent an ungodly amount of time playing fucking Minecraft when I was a kid, and I was like a master at that game, and I could build some really cool labyrinthian giant like towering structures of shit. I built an entire city, like a massive city, like something like fucking 50 skyscrapers that were all the build limit, and they were all unique, all filled with completely different rooms, all had different window patterns and different, like, you know, building styles, and like I had all kinds of statues, and like I built a giant like battle arena, and I had like all kinds of redstone fucking things that would spawn enemies inside of it if you like pulled a switch. So I built like horde mode inside Minecraft. I built a statue of Steve that was like 3,000 blocks tall and completely anatomically correct because I built a model of a skeleton and a bunch of organs inside of him, and then built a game out of it where you had to find 5 gold blocks to win inside of the maze-like body that would fill with enemies. I built a satellite. I built a giant glass dome over the whole city. I built a farm. I built a fucking... I built an underwater battle arena. I built a lighthouse. I had this world with a million cool things in it that took me like something like a couple thousand hours of work just every day after school. As soon as I would finish my homework, I'd just sit there and just play Minecraft and listen to videos on my headphones or like listen to music or something. And I ended up building like so much insane cool stuff. And then like maybe 3 years ago, I tried to load it up again, and the game updated, and that like destroyed all my save files. Like it completely eradicated any chance I had of ever opening it again because of some update that didn't install properly or some shit.
Oh no.
So I spent thousands of hours building all kinds of really cool, impressive stuff, and lost all of it because of some technical glitch that was not my fault.
That sounds like life.
If that isn't a metaphor for life, I don't know what is. It's just some random fucking glitch will just explode all your hard work in 2 seconds, and you'll be like, what was the point of any of it?
Hey,
So
remember
every time
when
I think about Minecraft, I just get really sad.
Hey, remember when I hired you to be like the funny person on the stream?
Man, another powered lie.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, I did. And you're not being funny, so.
I built the zoo. There was a hotel. I built the entire sewer system underneath the city. There was a police station with like jail cells in the basement. And I even built it so that like there was a secret hatch in one of the jail cells that led to the sewers, so you could stage like a jailbreak. I built a whole prison.
Did you ever
built,
like have people over to like play with you?
Yeah, plenty of times. Like my
Yeah.
friends Jackson and Thomas and a bunch of others.
Because for me, that
they've
was
all
that was the big fun of Minecraft, was having friends.
No, I would have. I had all kinds of friends come over, and then like I gave them their own plots of land to build their shit in it. So like Jackson had his own house that he built from his idea, and like everyone just kind of came in and did their own thing, and all of it's gone.
Rest in peace.
Rip in peace, awesome Minecraft world. And like I've wanted to go back and fix it for years, but like part of me just doesn't have the time or the energy. The really horrible thing now is that like I'm an adult, so I just don't have the like time to just rebuild any of that shit. Like between, just social life and responsibilities and work, I can't sit down and spend the couple thousand hours that I need to get it all back. It sucks.
It does, But I've been getting back into Minecraft, doing like a group thing with like some people here at the college, But that's about it. Yeah, I haven't been playing too many other games lately, because I have like life,
Yeah.
You know how it be to have life. You have to like choose what games you want to play now, and it takes a lot for a game to, in my mind, justify, the time investment. For me, at least.
Yeah.
For you, for you, it's your job, to review games all the time. But for me,
yeah, but like I have to choose which games I play based on which ones am I gonna be able to make a video on. So like that kind of stains it in that like I can't really devote as much time to just casually playing them as I'd like to. And it makes playing video games feel like work because I'm like pausing it to take notes now.
Oh no.
Trying to write down time codes and shit throughout the cutscenes, or if I see them on YouTube, or like I'm just like I'm looking at it with this clinical, disgusting critic eye, where I'm like, oh, I have to dissect this and talk about it for 30 minutes, instead of just like, oh, I'm having fun, I'm playing a video game, yeah, I did a cool headshot. Like, it's, yeah, it becomes a different experience when you play them like for a living.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see them as fun anymore. They feel like work.
So you know what? That's why I do what I do, which is I say I do a thing here when I'm at school, which is I say every Friday I'm just gonna watch a movie. Like it's harder for video games because video games are longer, but I just say every single
Yeah.
week I'm just gonna watch one random movie. It could be last week I watched The Wicker Man. This week it was The Witches. But I always have it in my mind that I'm just going to watch something for no other reason than I want to watch it. So that even if I keep, reviewing movies or whatever, I'm still going to be, at least in theory, reviewing movies because I want, just watching movies because I want to.
Yeah. Not because you're reviewing them.
Mm-hmm. Although I do have a lot of fun when we watch a movie together for when we want to review it. Like those...
Yeah.
Some of those Hellraiser movies
God
were
awful.
fun when we were both just
Terrible Hellraiser movie.
laughing at it and just screaming at the screen, There's entertainment value to that. That's how I watched The Witches, because I watched it with some friends and we were all just, what is going on?
Laughing at the absurdity.
Just laughing at the complete sort of Dali-esque surrealism. Or should I say Neil Breen-esque surrealism?
How
Remember?
do you go from being Robert Zemeckis to being Neil Breen? That's so sad.
No. I mean, it's not like that levels of just complete chaos, but it's got a similar vibe to it, although it's much more competent.
Oh,
Put it this way, like there's no moment in The Witches where they're like, "Hi, I am the CEO of the bank." Remember that?
I'm the CEO of the bank. All of the politicians are bad, and then they're like, "You're right," and then they shoot themselves right on the steps of the White House. That guy sure got us.
And I love how, like, when they're all like,
things about Neil Breen is how it's like this weird, bizarro power fantasy where he's like the toughest, coolest, most competent guy in the universe, and everyone else just like sucks his dick all day.
I mean, when you self-fund your feature films, that's what you do.
I mean, like, Best of the Worst talk about that kind of thing on a lot when they're reviewing movies, is that if the director and the star of a low-budget movie are the same guy, usually that means it's going to be fun. Because it's always, like, some schlubby dude casts himself as, like, a badass action hero who gets to, like,
it's the power
all
fantasy.
The pretty women. Yeah. So, like, they as soon as they see directed by and starring, and it's the same name, they always get really excited.
Honestly, I would too, Next time, I'm just going to get excited if I ever see directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Oh, we're in for some shit now, kids.
Like, does anybody remember when he directed the Beowulf movie? And there's the scene in the book in Beowulf, right, where Beowulf is right, like, I'm the best, I'm so macho, I'm going to fight without armor, right? So they took that in the movie to be, I am going to fight while I am literally butt naked.
It was just, I'm going to fight in, like, street clothes, because, like, I'm not even going to get hit. It's not, I'm going to fight butt-ass naked, and they're going to have to Austin Powers my dick out of every shot.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's the most hilarious part of it is that it's a PG-13, it's a PG-13 animated movie, so they had to, put, like, really, really cartoonishly just put, like, random objects in front of... Have random objects flying in front of his crotch for the whole scene so that they wouldn't have to show his dick. And it gets really cartoony.
It's Austin Powers, man. Can't show the dick under any circumstances, so go out of your way to show literally anything else.
And then remember also the Angelina Jolie sex scene in that movie?
Oh yeah, where they had he fucked a giant CGI Angelina Jolie snake monster, I think.
Yeah. Well, I watched that movie in English class. And you
I
know
think
how
we did too, but I might have been absent that day.
Yeah, but like we did that, but it's English class in a high school in America, so you can't show sex, right? So
Yeah, no,
this
sex is the devil. If you have sex when you're not married, your dick will fall off.
so the solution to
That's what the schools here say.
So like legitimately, but do you want to know what the solution for that was? For this class?
Oh god.
Turn off the video, but keep the audio playing during the sex scene.
Huh?
Yeah. So we got to hear everything. We got to hear the grunts. We got to hear the "Ooh, I'm going to seduce you" stuff. Yeah, but we didn't get to see anything. It was so amazing.
Oh man, which teacher was it? Was it Miss K or Miss B?
Which one was the redhead?
I don't remember a redhead one.
Okay, so it was a redhead because halfway through
The
that
redhead
semester,
one might have been Miss K because she was the younger one with the big thick glasses.
she was the one. No. She was the one who taught middle school English, but she subbed for us.
Oh,
Because that semester, our teacher left to get a better job. So like, yeah, that's
was
the
it
thing
that,
about
that other teacher, the blonde one. The what was her name? I can't remember her name. She was only our teacher in like 9th grade for like one semester, and
Yeah,
then she
that
like
was it.
left, and I think that's when Miss B came to the school and took over.
So it was the one who was for you. It was the shorter one, who was a little bit more, a little bit. She wasn't like really like rail thin. She was a little bit thicker than that.
Oh, okay. I guess I just don't remember the names of a lot of teachers then.
Yeah, yo tampoco. You know, me neither.
But yeah.
So Kian
teachers
Prime
were
in the
really
chat
sketchy about
asks
that.
where the Scrubs is, and so
Scrubs was gonna show up, but then he ate a pizza that made him sick, and then was up all night, and then like maybe fell asleep 30 minutes before the stream.
exactly. So like, yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, he just ate a pizza and he couldn't sleep.
He was like, "This is my cheat day. I'm gonna eat a pizza," and then he gets himself like this giant fucking New York style, like really thin, really fucking wide pizza, and then he ate one slice of it and says that he thought it didn't taste very good. He said it was like really bland, and the only flavor was really in the tomato sauce, because I guess it's some Australian pizza place that couldn't do the pizza properly. But so, and I was like, then why'd you eat the whole thing? And he's like, well, it's my cheat day. It would defeat the purpose of having the cheat day. So he fucking ate a whole pizza that didn't taste good and then got sick. And it's like, it's not a cheat day if you're going to make yourself sick. The whole idea, David and I were talking about, is the whole idea is to eat something that you like, that makes you feel good. Like, oh, I'll have a cake because it feels nice for my brain.
I'll
Not
have
'cause
some
it's good for you.
pancakes.
Or I'll drink a soda. You know, like
The object
something
is
that's
not
like,
to have a bunch of calories for the sake of having a bunch of calories. It's to have a bunch of calories that you like eating.
it's not just to shove junk in your body for no reason. It's supposed to be pleasant.
It's to
Fucking
reward
maniac.
yourself for
So he-
not doing this the rest of the week.
So he ate this gigantic ass pizza that was not good for him, and then was up all night feeling queasy and barfy. And then right when he's starting to feel good again is right before the stream is starting, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready. Let's go." And I'm like,
You know, it'd be
William,
really funny if he
stream's
were here
starting
right
to-
now to hear us making fun of him. But he's not, because he
But
ate a
he's
pizza.
not. He abandoned us.
Bitch-ass loser.
Bitch ass, punk ass, motherfucker.
You see, I guess the moral here is the dangers of pizza time. Remember, kids, pizza time responsibly.
Yummy, 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 yummy pizza.
You see, that's not funny because
Oh my god. That's why he got sick. He ate that pizza.
oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
No, that's not tomato sauce. It's blood. That's not white cheese. Oh god.
No!
Oh god. Can you? Oh no! Man, that if he was here, he would leave the call.
Oh no! Why? Why do you say that? That is legitimately one of the grossest videos I've ever seen in my life. I'm not joking.
They cut off his fucking turtle head. It was just laying there, and all the other Ninja Turtles.
What?
just
Why
put
are
it on
you
the
mentioning this on my stream?
Because your stream is literally the only place I talk about it because you and William react to it so funny.
Why? Why?
Yummy, 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 yummy pizza. That video is fucking funny. Whoever came up with that idea, good job. I mean, it's revolting and horrible, but it was funny.
What?
Every time someone says pizza time, I don't think of the overused Toby meme. I think of that instead.
I just think of the song from Spider-Man 2, and I think of the time that you bullied me while I was trying to deliver a pizza. And I'm still bitter about that. I haven't forgiven you! I'm just trying to deliver a pizza! Stop hassling me!
Deliver the pizza better!
I'm doing my best!
Let's find another way.
Deliver it better, you fool! What a great stream that was. I think Ben's doing another stream highlights, but I can't remember which one.
Well, God bless Ben.
He said
no
he would
last
have
name.
it done by Friday, so I should go hassle him about it. I should just, like, fucking throw a rock at his ass and be like,
Where's my fucking stream, Ben?
and he'll be like, just give me more time, just give me more time, I almost got it, okay? And then I'll fucking, like, I'll force him to take his clothes off and lock him in a trunk as punishment, and then his wife will come out and be like, what are you doing out here? And he'd be like, I fucked up! I fucked up!
God bless Ben, no last name.
Ben, no last name.
And that is his last name, so.
Someone in the chat says, I'm starting to think Xavier had a few shots before the stream started. You know what's fucked up? I've never touched a single drop of alcohol or any drugs in my life. I'm complete. Every single time you've heard me, I'm actually completely sober. I'm just like this.
You know, I actually had something. I actually have something to say about that actually, because I have in the past when I went to college, I was I roomed sophomore year with a person who was pledging for a fraternity at the time. So I went to more than my fair share of parties during that experience. So I did that,
Yeah.
right? And I was always terrified. Like I personally have nothing against people who drink, but I think that you need to be responsible and you need to be, you need to take it with some care. But I was always really, really nervous of like asking people for like booze or like anything like that. So I would never ever do it. So I was always the sober one at a party full of drunk people. And honestly, I managed,
Yeah.
I managed to, get along.
That's the thing is because of my
People
whole
think,
sobriety thing.
yeah?
I've been around plenty of drunk people, and I'm actually very good at talking to them, but I hate it. Like
Well,
I can take care of a room full of
No,
drunk
no, no, no,
people
no. That's not what I'm
easily.
trying to say
I
here.
think
What
it's
I'm
just
trying
horrible.
to no, what I'm trying to say here is that I've had a lot of experience in having fun at parties where I'm the only sober one, and I manage to get along with it just fine. I can have fun, I can do like everything that other people can do, at a party. I just don't need to get drunk to do it. Like
Yeah.
I remember going to a party one night, and then the next morning I went to lunch or brunch because it's the weekend, and I sat down at the table, and one of the people who was at the party last night was talking about like, oh yeah, I was so fucked up last night. I like had all this booze, blah 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 blah. I was like, what about you? And I just said, I didn't drink a thing, and she said, how did you manage to get along? I just did it, I had fun, I hung out with my friends, I danced, I did whatever, and that's what I'm trying to say here is that, it's totally possible to be outrageous and crazy and to do everything that drunk people do without actually drinking anything, and that's fine.
Draw the combine away from me. That'll give you a chance to get the trains filled up before we get there.
Are you
mean,
scrolling
I just-
Twitter right
I-
now?
No, I'm just listening. And I was just gonna say, oftentimes I just kind of slip into this mode where I just say completely ridiculous and absurd things just to get a reaction.
Yeah.
Um, usually when I'm either on stream or if I'm hanging out with my sister, because hearing my sister laugh is like one of the
Or
few
if you're
joys I
hanging
have
out with
in life.
friends.
So sometimes when I'm hanging out with friends, like it depends. Some days it's kind of chill, other days it's the insanity.
Yeah,
But,
I know. I've been both with you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a tendency to act a little wacky sometimes on stream, but it's
And you
it's
can
not
think
because
that
of any
that's
substances. I just want people to laugh.
you're just having fun,
Yeah.
And that's a thing you can totally do. But for real, how many shots do you have before this?
57.
57?
12 times since this stream started.
You need to get those
great
numbers
pain.
up.
I'm
Those are
bleeding
rookie
every-
numbers, kid.
There's a Anna in the chat. Hello, Anna.
Anna, you want to jump into this
Anna.
Discord server and hang out with us?
Do you want to be on the stream? You can talk with us.
Yeah. We don't have William on right now, so you can be our friend on the other side of the Pacific Ocean.
I'll type it to her in case she doesn't hear it. Socially inept Spider-Man in the chat. I completely get that. I've dealt with that exact same feeling before.
What was the feeling you mentioned?
A lot of people in my family have a history of substance abuse, and I'm sure it's probably genetic. And I don't know. I don't even wanna test it or like risk it because I'm sure if I start like I don't want to risk ending up on the same destructive path. So I just kind of avoid it.
I think that's totally valid, and I have similar patterns in my family, but my philosophy is more reasonable exposure.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
don't know, and it's not like I was ever shielded from that shit as a kid. Like I knew what my parents and my grandparents and my great grandparents. I know what all of them have gotten up to in the past. In fact, like my own parents have offered me alcohol and weed before, and I was like, nah, I'm good. It's because just didn't want to give it a try.
that's fair enough.
I'm not like one
Hello,
of them
Iron Ninja. I
sheltered
didn't realize
kids.
Zach was in the chat too.
Oh hey, what's up?
Hey, Zach. Hey, Zach with the Y, Zayk.
Zayk Zake.
No, it's not Zake. It's Zach, you moron.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get it right?
You didn't.
Let me add the amina. Now we can listen to her try to be entertaining while being sleepy.
I mean, at least you'll have someone else to jump off of besides my boring ass,
Now Anna and I can just make squishy makeout noises while you're over here playing Half-Life.
No, you can talk about Transformers and their genitalia.
Oh hell yeah!
We need to hear your opinions on the Transformer dick.
That's why I'm trying to get her in here. We got to hear her opinion on Megatron's penis.
Yes, this is very important information.
I bet she's starting up Discord, which, you know what she does that drives me crazy?
What?
She turns her computer all the way off every time she's not using it. Like full-on shutdown mode. Not even sleep, just completely shuts it down.
I mean,
So
I do
every
that
day
too.
when she wakes up, it takes her like 10 to fucking 20 minutes to get shit loaded back up so I could like call her on
I mean,
Discord.
I do that too. There's nothing
Sometimes-
wrong with that.
No, it takes forever. Just put it in sleep mode sometimes if you know you're going to use it the next day.
Like, 8 hours is a long time for a computer to be on uninterrupted. I think it's good for computer health to turn it off every now and then,
I know, no, every now and then, but not every single day. There's a reason rest mode exists. It's not going to die.
Yeah, but like rest mode, I do it for like if I'm gonna if I have the computer on and I'm gonna use it in the next couple hours or something. I'm not gonna keep it on rest mode if I'm gonna use it tomorrow.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, it'll work. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what else is fine? Hitler. Hitler's fine.
Whoa!
Doesn't seem so fine now, does it?
I'm concerned now. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm really upset. You got me. You got me all upset.
What? How did I get you upset? I just called you Hitler. What's wrong with that?
Wasn't trying to bother anybody. I was just calling everybody who disagreed with me Hitler. I mean,
As
I learned it
bros
from
do.
the internet, as bros do. I didn't know there's anything wrong with that. Anna's computer is loading right now. I'm sure of it. And when she gets here, I'm gonna make fun of her.
And it's that. I'll bet it's
I'm so
that.
excited, guys.
I'll bet
I
it's
get to
that. Play the Windows dial-up noise from the early 2000s.
I mean, she's older than us, so like she listened to that sound when it was a thing. She knows that pain. She was one of those teenagers who had to listen to the dial-up modem noise to find the porn.
What kind of porn though?
I don't know. I think that's a private matter. That's between her and God.
Who is God? Let's talk about that. What is God?
Um,
Is God the unmoved mover? Is God thought thinking himself? Is God the only substance that exists? Let's
Well,
let's de- let's
I
debate.
don't know the answer to
Listen.
that question, but I do know what does he need with a starship?
Let's debate this, Xavier. Let's debate this. So, are we going with the Aristotelian God, which is God? So, we look at things in the universe, and we look at things that some things are better than others, and
Stop.
there is also
Stop
a
it.
hierarchy
I
of
don't
goods
wanna.
because some things are
Making
good
me
in and of
uncomfortable.
themselves versus other things that are good just for themselves.
What the fuck is wrong with
And
you?
therefore,
You're an
this
asshole.
progression of goods can't go on infinitely. So there must be a
You're
highest
canceled.
good, and that is God.
I'm gonna
And the
cancel
highest good must be an intellectual thing because a non-physical thing is
You sound
of a
like Lex
higher order
Luthor.
than a physical thing. So therefore, God is thought
specifically
thinking
Jesse
itself,
Eisenberg, Lex
and
Luthor.
thought thinking itself doesn't actually create
'Cause you're a
anything
pussy.
because it thinks about itself and nothing else. So therefore, God must be an entity that is thought thinking itself, and it
gonna put a
inspires
jar
other
full of
things
pee
that
on
to
your
come
desk
because
and
it is a
blow you
good
up
thing in
and
and of
kill you
itself.
in a horrible, violent
What the fuck are you
explosion.
talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about God.
I said I was gonna put a jar full of pee on your desk and then kill you in a horrible explosion.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And then I was gonna blame it on Superman. It's always his fucking fault.
Since when is anything not the fault of Superman? Let's be honest.
The crime rate in Gotham. I feel like that's someone else's fault.
No, of course it's Superman's fault.
Superman and Batman are actually the same guy. He just switches outfits so that we don't notice. That's my conspiracy theory. What do you think?
Batman is
of that
no
idea,
no no no
Ken?
no 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 no. It's because Batman fought Superman that one time, so Batman isn't able to be fascist as fascist as he was. You know. It's because Batman fought Superman that one time.
Oh hi, mute. Put your headphones on.
Oh my! Oh no! Why are? Ah, that's so
There's an
weird.
echo.
I hate hearing my own voice. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Get your shit together. Also,
I thought I was.
Hi, how are you?
I thought I was muted. Sorry.
Hello, welcome to the gang.
Hello, hello.
All right, Anna's immediately gonna get confused because we're gonna talk about nerd shit, and then she'll go quiet, and then just kind of like.
We wanted to
play video
ask
games
you
in the
about
background.
Transformers and their genitalia. So, like, could you give us what your doctoral thesis about the Transformer dick?
No, it's non-existent.
Oh, so what's the evidence
How
for
thoroughly have you studied that subject?
Because they're robots. They don't have internal organs. Okay.
Well, yeah, they do. Like the T-Cog and the Spark
They
and the
they
fucking voice
reproduce
box.
asexually, like flowers.
How?
Although
How
it's
do they? What?
Well,
how
I'm
do they-
sorry. Flowers
know.
also have sexual organs. They can reproduce sexually and asexually.
I
Flowers
don't
have vaginas.
know.
You've heard it here first.
They do. Like, they do have legitimately female and male
That was
organs.
an artistic license. She was painting them as they appeared in real life.
I don't know. Why are you asking me that?
Well,
Brought you here to torture you.
we believe that
Hello.
you are a scholar, and you are an educated woman of science whose research field is the genitalia of Transformers.
Because robots don't have babies. They don't.
Okay, then
They are
how
robots.
okay. Why does Devastator have a giant swinging ball sack then in Transformers 2: Revenge of the Fallen? We saw it. We know it's real. Okay, you can't erase that.
Remember,
Yes.
I'm directly below the enemy scrotum.
I'm directly below the enemy scrotum. He said that was real.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that he has it. Maybe it's just like an expression.
It's a what?
An expression, like sometimes even
No, there was balls.
Yeah,
I
there
can't
were
remember.
there were literal
It was
mechanical
like-
There was a
balls.
transformer with gonads. I'll
I
show you the
can't.
clip.
Okay, I can't.
And then
remember.
also Wheelie kept humping Megan Fox's leg, but that might have been like he was just trying to be funny. But then Bumblebee peed on that guy's face.
Okay, but aside from
To be
the-
fair,
the-
that was lubrication.
Directly below.
but
Here,
I'm
watch
gonna stand-
watch this clip, Anna. Watch
But I'm
it.
gonna stand my point.
Watch this clip. Watch
Robots
it.
don't have. Okay.
Robots don't have wee-wees, okay. I love that.
John Turturro was directly below the enemy's scrotum.
Okay, hold on. Okay. The robot is clearly fucked up. It could be anything else and not.
It was wrecking balls that were between its legs. There's only so many ways to interpret it, Anna. You can't
But
keep
it-
up with this revisionist history bullshit. You need to just accept the truth that Transformers have dicks,
No.
okay?
No.
But so here's the real question: What's the what are the female sex organs for a transformer?
Don't have it.
See?
No, there's
Oh. Excuse me.
no.
Excuse me.
All Transformers have dicks, even the female ones.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
No.
There's no vaginas in space. Don't be silly. There's just only more penises. That's what
Oh.
Ridley Scott taught me. All right, is that in space there's
Excuse me.
only there's only penises. There's no vaginas.
Are you-
In space, there are only penis vaginas.
there's vaginas at the tips of snake penises that jump onto your face and pump you full of black goo. But that's it.
So
I would
are
love
you being
for-
sexist, Xavier?
Yes. Yeah.
Cancel.
And
I
can you
love to
imagine
be,
how
like,
many
totally
times
matter of
Xavier
fact
should have
about
been
it.
canceled by now?
Xavier being sex. Oh, so you're saying they have guys wee wee and they don't have girls wee wee?
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah.
you?
No. That's
Yeah.
precisely what they are
Excuse
saying.
you.
They're saying that they have the male penis and the female penis.
No, that doesn't make sense. How
Yes,
would you
it
say that
does.
it's a male and a female if they both
Well-
have dicks?
Yes.
Well, 'cause
It's a
they're-
thing.
Well, there's no males or females. They're genderless. They're robots, Anna. They don't have gender.
But they do have genitalia.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're really being sexist.
No. No, I'm being inclusive
Excuse
to
me,
my transformers. Transformers are real women or real men
Okay,
or whatever
okay.
they want to be, whatever their hearts tell them.
okay.
You're the one that's being problematic right now, okay?
So are you saying?
Frankly, I'm
RC
disgusted by.
Are you saying RC is male because she has boobs? Clearly,
You can have boobs and a dick.
I'm not saying that you can't have. I'm just saying that it should that in the Transformer world there should also
Well,
be a girl
you know what?
too.
She's a motorcycle. All right.
Because it's the small. It's okay. RC is small, and it's the smallest vehicle or transportation that there is out there. You can have her as a bicycle.
Well, I mean, there's no mechanical parts on it. Wait, hold on. All right, chat. Are there any Transformers that have turned into bicycles? Because I don't remember that.
I don't know.
Are there any bike Transformers?
I feel like we need Somebody else.
We need
Who amongst our friends are like Transformers experts?
No one. We don't have any friends.
Well, thanks for the encouragement.
Maybe there is. You just have to ask. Maybe they're just not talking about.
I have a feeling like Becky would
I
know
wanna talk
something
to
about the
people.
Transformers.
Yeah, Becky's also comes to mind.
There's so many jokes I could make, but I don't. I know that she would laugh at them, but I feel like other people might not.
About what?
Nothing. Anyway,
Nothing whatsoever.
Orion Pax is Optimus Prime's dead name, and by Jove, you're not gonna call him that anymore. All right?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh my god. I want to talk about that.
When he lost his memory and was like, Megatronus, where are we?
Yeah.
Megatron
And
was like,
also-
dude, you can fucking trick him.
For me, Transformers Prime is a good show. The best one out there.
Her and I sat down and watched that one. I wasn't expecting her to be into it. Like, I was just bored and didn't know what to watch one day, and I was like, let's watch Transformers. So I just threw it on in the background while we were just kind of talking, and then she just kind of started getting like really, really invested into it, and to the point of like getting really upset and almost crying when Optimus Prime died, and like being like really into the inner politics of the Decepticons, and she was all
cried.
like she likes when Starscream gets shit on by everyone else.
Okay, aside from liking and loving Optimus Prime and the bots, I also like Megatron because of how I have a love and hate relationship with him. He's that good of a villain in Transformers Prime because sometimes I like him and sometimes I really despise him. That's how great of a villain he is.
You want to talk about someone being sexist on the topic of Transformers? Anytime there's a female villain in something, Anna hates her. But if it's the male villain, she's like, wow, he's so mysterious, and he's so cunning and villainous. I love him. Oh, he's so sinister. He's such a bad guy, but he's so cool. But if it's a female villain, she's like, she's a bitch. I hate her. Fuck her. I hope they kill her off this season. I hope she never comes back. I hate her.
I mean, don't you hate how do you call her? Because I call her Arachnid because I hate her.
But it was Arachnid. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I just don't like how the character acted in that show.
She acted exactly like any other fucking Decepticon.
I don't know. I hate her.
I didn't know you would have such strong Transformers opinions. I just thought that was going to be a fun joke to bring up.
No, Anna actually
like
is a Transformers fan.
Yeah. Although I only watch Transformers 1 and 2 of the Michael Bay films.
Don't watch any of the other ones.
okay.
They're absolutely unwatchable.
Yeah. So
The second one is unwatchable. The only okay-ish one is the first one, and then the actual good one is Bumblebee, which he didn't even touch. Stupid Michael Bay.
I remember seeing this great joke on Twitter.
Movie.
I remember seeing this great joke on Twitter about it, like right when the Bumblebee movie come out, was that so the director of the previous ones was named Travis Knight, and the director of the old ones is Michael Bay. So I guess you could almost say the difference was Knight and Bay.
Oh, I like that.
That's good.
Knight and Bay.
Every now and then there's a good pun out there.
Yeah. Let's see the chat.
Weirdly enough, Anna gets really attached to the human characters in Transformers.
I don't hate
too.
spiders. I just hate the villain character on that show.
Arachnid.
Yeah, because when
we watched Beast Wars, she hated fucking Black Arachnia too. Every
Okay.
female villain in
Yeah.
Transformers is
I
spider
don't know
themed.
why. Because I remember when we watched Avatar, Xavier was gone to the point where he got sad because I really hate what's her name?
Azula.
Yeah.
Azula. Yeah. I was like, Azula's a cool villain.
Right.
She's interesting. I like how twisted she is. There's this really great scene where she like has like this like freak out after they beat her in the finale, and all this stuff, and it's just like she fucking sucks. I hate her. I hope Zuko just cuts her head off with a sword or something. She's so terrible. Oh, like every time it it just cuts to a new angle of Azula, Anna would go, "Oh, come on, get on with it."
So, what's your opinion of Anna? If you've seen Harry Potter, what's your opinion of Bellatrix Lestrange?
Okay, I think that's an exception because I love her.
Mhm.
I just
It
hated
just took
her
Harry
when
Potter shit to break the curse.
so
Break the
I just hated
Harry
her.
Potter and the Curse of the Female Villain.
Harry
I just
Potter
hated
and the
her.
Curse of the Disappearing Poop.
I just hated her when she did the thing with Sirius Black. You know?
Hmm.
Slept with him in that hotel room, and then Harry walked in on it and was like,
They're
"Oh, Ted, I'm so
cousins!
sorry, I'll come back later."
They're cousins! You're
They're
telling me
cousins.
that they committed incest?
Oh no.
I didn't know that detail, so I guess so. Yeah, that's evil and dastardly.
But like, that would make like
Don't fuck your cousins, bro. That's gross.
Ew.
that would also make the other guy a Sirius Black unappealing, and he's like the father figure to Harry Potter. So
Yeah, he's he's Jim Gordon.
who?
It's this character from this fun indie movie you may have heard of. It's called The Batman.
No, I've
The
never heard
Batman
about it.
Starts. Yeah, The Batman Starts.
Never heard of it.
It's a movie about a guy who's a bat. He starts.
What does he start? Does he start like a small business? Does he start like paying his mortgage?
Yeah. Yeah, he starts a pyramid scheme and then keeps recruiting white black-haired orphans into it.
Why so specific? Is
Who
he like
sneezed?
a
Who
pedophile or
was that?
something?
Who the fuck sneezed in the background? I heard it.
It was my dad.
You tell him I said bless you. You tell him I said bless.
Why does he keep
He's so sorry.
recording
I'll
young
hear
black-haired
it.
orphans? Is he like a pedophile or something? The guy in this indie movie you mentioned.
No. He just likes breaking child labor laws.
Okay. Why is that?
Because they're.
Is
you
he
know,
like a
they're
libertarian
cheap
or
and
something?
Oh my god.
That caught me off guard. I'm sorry. Ooh, oh. But yes. So anyway, speaking of Batman, because of my mom just got that HBO Max thingamajig, I decided to go check out some of the stuff on there, and they have a pretty decent selection of comic booky DC stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
I wish they had more shows on there. It's all just the animated movies. They only have Teen Titans on there, which by
I think
the way
they're
is
going to
like
be.
the best quality copy of that.
I think they're
going to
be adding like more of the. In the future, they're going to be adding more of those like CW animated CW shows on there, and I think they're also going to be eventually adding like some like a bunch of like the DC Universe stuff that like got ported over from that. So like Doom Patrol is on there.
Doom Patrol is already on there. So.
And like all that sort of like DC shows that they're working on now.
Yeah, I mean like the old cartoons. Like I want to rewatch Static Shock now that I know there's a. You know what? This is a dumb reason to want to rewatch that show, but the other day I heard the creator in an interview say that one of like the main two characters of that show was actually gay, but he just couldn't outright state it in the show. So I'm like, well, I had no idea as a kid, like because I it was like only hinted at. So I decided I'm gonna go try and find a way to rewatch Static Shock to see all the hints at that because that just like completely went over my head.
My
I also
God.
want to rewatch Justice League because that cartoon was great and did an adaptation of Watchmen with DC characters like midway through the show, and it was really interesting. And Alan Moore actually praises that version of that and said, "Oh, well, they did a good job." It's weird. Everyone says Alan Moore hates everything, but there's like actually a fair amount of exceptions to when he says you know oh, this adaptation was pretty decent. It was for the man who has everything in Justice League. They did a direct adaptation of one of his Superman stories, I believe, and he liked that one. He liked their kind of weird pseudo Watchmen story that they did with DC character. Like they just the whole idea of Watchmen was it was supposed to be set in the DC universe and use a couple of like DC characters. Like Night Owl was supposed to be Blue Beetle. Rorschach was supposed to be the Question. Silk Spectre was supposed to be like Black Canary.
But they couldn't
like
because they didn't want to change things too much or challenge people.
yeah, they didn't want they didn't want something that would because that story would fuck up and kill off half of that cast, and they're like, well, we want to keep these characters around, so create like your off-brand knockoff versions of them for this. But then Justice League was like, dude, let's kind of actually just adapt it, but use the DC characters that he intended to, sort of. So it's about the Question unraveling a giant conspiracy, and instead of Ozymandias, it's Lex Luthor, and it was really cool. That show was like really daring and interesting and tried some wacky shit, and I love it. Like it's the only animated show, like superhero show for kids that I can think of that had hour-long episodes. Because they wanted it to be like an adult oriented sort of like darker series. So they're like, okay, we'll just give it hour-long episodes and then just like split them in half and make everything a two-parter so that Cartoon Network doesn't get on our ass for like filling up the time slot. But like when you rewatch that show, everything is just like it feels more like something written kind of above the heads of a lot of kids, but it's like really that's what's kind of awesome about it is as a kid you didn't feel like you were being talked down to it. Like the show treated you like an adult.
Wow.
Yeah, are you just listening?
Yes, I'm just listening.
Yeah.
David, I see on the face cam you're just looking down. Are you like texting someone?
Something like
Did you
that.
receive lewd photos from William as an apology for not showing up in our goddamn stream?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Confirm nor deny.
It's a fun photo.
Come on, we all know he's a gentleman. He wouldn't send something like that.
Where is
How do
he?
I
Oh,
get?
that reminds me of that time David almost saw a not.
Oh
a
my
not
God! Are you gonna keep
close
telling me this
picture of
story
me.
constantly? Like, fuck it.
Well, I don't know if anyone remembers this story.
Yes,
It
I'm
was
sure
funny,
they all
though.
do. But like, go on.
Do you
tell
guys
it
remember
anyway.
this story? Do you guys remember this
I'm
story
just
of how
gonna-
David almost saw my nether bits
I'm
on
gonna go
accident?
to the bathroom and I'm gonna get some water. So like, tell this
Do
story.
you guys remember that story in the chat?
David left.
Got angry and left. The
It's
chat still
so-
hasn't answered yet.
It's a nightmare, or it was a bad dream that he wants to forget.
What is the chat updating on your end? Vaguely something about
yeah,
Comic-Con. Yeah. Okay. So, it was around the time when Anna and I first started dating, like a couple of years ago. And, back then, uh, it's a long distance relationship. You get your business done a certain kind of way. So I sent her some pictures. She sent me some, and it was the day before Comic-Con. Um, I had the foresight to delete all of the pictures that had like really racy stuff. So the one that was still on my phone is like you can see pretty much everything except the R-rated part. Like this picture could be viewed in a PG-13 movie. I'd like to make that clear. But I forgot to delete it along with the rest. And we were at the convention the next day, and a fan spotted me and was like, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I handed my camera, my phone, to David, and as soon as he opened it, he could see in the corner of the camera, in the tiny preview window, pretty much 95% of things. And I knew instantly that that's what he saw because I saw his face contort into like a fucked up smile, and he turned like beet red, and his eyes widened like dinner plates. Like he looked like he was about to burst out laughing and was also shocked and horrified at the same time. And I was wearing a Spider-Man mask, so no one could see I was making the exact same face. So then he took a picture of me and the fan, and then handed his phone back to me and said, "Hey, you got something?" I said, "I know, I'm so sorry." I thank God every day that I had the foresight to delete the really, really racy one that was immediately after that one. Because that's the one that would make him look at me different as a friend. And yeah, that was a fun convention. It was a fun convention. I miss conventions.
Oh.
Is it over?
So
Yeah.
yeah. You got here just in time.
Oh my God, poor David.
I'm sorry. I just had to like pee, so like, yeah.
I'm so sorry, David.
What's so funny about me peeing? I need to know, okay? Tell me.
What?
What's so funny about me going to the bathroom?
No, it wasn't you going to the bathroom. It's the story that Xavier told the chat.
Oh, so it's everything isn't about me. I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
Everything is about you.
Oh, absolutely.
Your stream.
Thank you. Thank you for understanding.
What? Who are you people?
Okay, so I have a little bit of a. I have a
I'm laughing
question
so
here.
hard.
I have a question here.
Okay.
So I'm like trying to figure out where do I go with this puzzle now.
Okay, let me take a look. All right, you're.
Play this game.
Let me take a gander. Let me slather my eyeballs on this. Well, first of all, you don't get ate up by those scary monsters on the ceiling there with the tongues.
But I like tongue.
And I think you need to use those barrels to weigh something down or push something up because of their buoyancy.
Okay.
Generally, whenever you see those barrels, they're like a puzzle item. So I would imagine you're either trying to hold up a catwalk so you could walk across it, or you're trying to weigh down something that you need to keep underwater. So look for one of those two things: something you need to push up or push down. What?
Monster Wars.
Hey, Anna.
What?
Do you want this Devastator action figure from Transformers? Do you want that Devastator?
Who is this? Is he a different character?
It's yeah, he's a Decepticon from one of the movies. His name is Devastator.
Oh. I don't
Do you
know.
see
There's
his
a lot of-
balls?
Yeah. Why trembling over there?
Because they're made of wrecking balls. Because he's made of construction equipment. He was in the '80s movie. Remember? He just looked different. All the Constructicons. It was when they were trying to figure out who should lead after Megatron got shotted up.
The what?
The Devastator's the big Transformer.
Which one?
The one
He's
with
the-
the balls.
He's the one with the balls.
The cock and balls?
But Decepticon cock and ball torture.
Decepticon and ball
I will
torture.
capture Optimus Prime and force him to give me the Matrix through cock and ball torture.
You'll never get me to break Megatron. My cock and balls are made of steel.
Who are you supposed to be?
Cock and balls are the right of all sentient beings.
Oh my god.
Kian. I'll send it to. Here, I'll just send it to that chat that I know you're in.
Which one? Which one?
Where is it? The fucking Among Us Davil stream server. Here we go.
What are you sending to Kian?
There, see?
You're sending to Kian!
Now you too can see that Optimus Prime. Dude, can you imagine if John St. John voiced Optimus Prime? That'd be fucking sick.
Can you imagine if John St. John, while voicing Optimus Prime, said cock and ball torture?
I've gotten Optimus Prime to say some pretty ridiculous stuff, but I don't know if I can get him to say cock and ball torture.
Oh no. No.
You never
He's an
know
old
until you
man.
try, my dude.
David, you're gonna drown. Be careful. There you go. Hey, look, you pushed up the catwalk. I was right. Oh, fucking Zach sent me the wiki. Apparently, RC is trans in one of the comic books.
What?
RC was like a male robot, but then became a female robot.
Well, good
Is
for
there
her.
an explanation as to why?
Here, you could read the wiki with me. Here, it's right here. Hold on, guys. We're gonna read this Transformers wiki. Where is that information in this?
I mean, I just want to know. I don't have anything against it if it's canon. I just want to know why.
Are you saying that the creators can't have freedom of expression to do whatever they want regardless of why?
I just want to know
Are
why.
you against freedom of speech?
RC arose from the ashes of her mysterious traumatic past to become one of the most feared Transformers of her era and beyond. Cold and detached off the battlefield and utterly ruthless in combat, RC's single-minded bloodlust put her at odds with both Autobots and Decepticons. What the fuck? These comics are real different. This isn't like the cartoon.
Okay, where is it that says that she used to be?
Well, yeah, what are you talking about, Zach? What part of it
Yeah.
says that?
I don't see it.
You
Oh,
realize we
okay.
can't just sit down and read the whole thing. Wait, did you find it?
Wait, she said that she just this. I think she's not trans. She just see herself as a boyish character because it says here that RC would later describe herself as forged male. I don't know what
Huh?
that means.
Like, hold on, let me read that part too. Subsequent generations would become aware of the concept of gender had existed on Cybertron. What? Hold on, let me read that.
So forged male would be mean made as male. Forged is like made.
So does it say that she
I'm
feels
trying to
like a
understand, but
girl?
there's so many
Okay.
fucking run-on sentences in this wiki that, like, I'm trying to find the start of this sentence, and it's like halfway up the paragraph.
Also, do okay.
We're having a really
Sorry.
interesting stream tonight talking about
era
Transformers.
Nova Prime, Cybertronian society would change drastically. For reasons unknown, naturally born female Transformers would somehow vanish from Cybertron after the conclusion of the conflict and the departure from the Titans. Subsequent generations would never become aware that the concept of gender had existed on Cybertron at all, to the point where many future Transformers would consider the species to be functionally genderless. Never entirely comfortable with her birth identity, RC fell in with the mad genius Giaxus, who sought to recreate those lost aspects of ancient Cybertronian civilization. Not seeing the mad scientist for what he truly was, RC asked him to operate on her in hopes of dealing with her gender dysphoria. Wow!
Wow.
Though Giaxus, hoping to reintroduce gender to his species, was able to successfully alter RC's physiology and gender presentation by directly recoding her CNA, which is Cybertronian DNA, he ultimately felt no need to involve himself further with the experiment and deserted her after the surgery was complete. Oh, okay.
Oh, so she really is transgender?
I guess the
I did not.
Transformer equivalent of it, yeah.
Oh, okay. But okay, I'm getting conflicting information because in some other um website it says here that it was against
Well,
her
okay,
will.
that would be horrible.
Because you said on based from what you have just read, she asked a doctor something to finally give her the gender that she wants. So he asked, but according to another article, it says here that against her will, RC became the first transgender transformer. So I
These are
don't know
weird
what's.
comics.
Yeah, none of the cartoons ever tackle this. They just don't explain it the same way they don't really explain where Transformers babies come from, because it's like a kid's cartoon. So they're just like, here's a female robot, here's new Transformers. Just don't worry about it. Don't think about it, little kids.
The robots, period.
They're robots,
They're robots.
in
They're
disguise.
robot aliens. It could be anything. But
I don't know.
now we're getting into the comics that are like forced gender reassignment surgery, and it's like, oh yeah, this sure is fun space adventure for the whole family. God damn.
You know what else is fun space adventure for the whole family?
RC
Yummy, 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 yummy pizza.
In these particular comics, I've seen other interpretations
Hey,
where RC just
yummy,
exists
yummy,
as a female.
Yummy,
Like
yummy
always.
pizza.
I don't know. I'm so confused. You know what? Maybe the answer, much like, do Transformers have penises? Or can Transformers fuck? Maybe the answer is, don't think about it. They're robots. Just don't think about it. Don't think about it.
But if we weren't thinking about it, we
I'm
wouldn't
gonna-
be having this delightful conversation.
Exactly.
You are directly below the enemy's scrotum, okay?
Thinking about the genitalia of the Transformers brings people together. How are we, who are we, to argue, to provide against something that gives people pleasure?
Plenty of people masturbate to Transformers. Who are we to say that they can't? That's fascism.
And some of them publish full-length novels.
Can you imagine if Karl Marx just wrote a whole novel about why Transformers porn is awesome?
He did. It's called Das Kapital.
I'm afraid to look at the chat right now, considering all the crazy bullshit we're talking about. It's probably going to be bad. Let me look.
No, not really.
Okay, Zach says in the original, the gender change was forced because in the comics it was canon. There were no females for a while until the writers added female Transformers. Then they retconned it to be consensual.
I mean,
Like,
that's good.
The scientist robot. So there's a robot scientist. God, this is fucking dark and horrible. I hate comic books so much. I mean, I've read something like 7,000 of them, but they're fucking awful. What a story, Mark.
So, did you read that there's going to be a new live action Addams Family series TV show, but with from Tim Burton?
I'm like surprised Tim Burton didn't do the original. Oh, my sister's here. Hello, boy. You showed up just after the horrible things. I'm glad.
Who is your sister?
Hi, sister. We're playing Half-Life and talking about Transformers.
We're not talking about anything bad about Transformers. Like, don't go back in the stream and look back at the stuff that we talked about.
Yeah, we're just talking. Well, I know she just showed up because she just replied with. She just showed up and went, "Brother!"
Brother!
Whenever she sees me, that's how she greets me. She goes,
Honestly,
"Brother!" And then I
honestly,
go, "Brother! We're taking this war into the 21st century!"
honestly, that's pretty on brand for Phoenix.
Her and I, you know what? Speaking of David streams, her and I have been playing Alien Isolation recently.
Oh yeah.
Whenever she comes over, we've been playing that.
You
know what?
I hope
That
she had
game-
fun on the. I hope she had fun on the last Among Us stream as well.
Oh yeah, I hope so. That was cool. I was glad that she was able to participate.
Mm-hmm.
But
In the
Yeah.
in the future, guys, for those of you who are wondering, what I'm planning to do with the Among Us streams going forward is to make it like a semi-regular thing. So it's probably going to be like, once a month, once every couple weeks, that sort of thing. Because I feel like I kind of like also having these sort of like more low-key streams as well. It's a good opportunity to just hang with friends and, I kind of get overwhelmed in being a huge crowd, and also it's that. Also, I don't really want to use up the gimmick too much. I think that there's only having it every once in a while. It's still makes it a little bit special, but I feel like I could get really sick of that game if I play it too much.
yeah, because like there's only
Also,
so much you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
there's another game
with
that
it,
I would
rather.
like. I would like us, the gang, to try, but I don't know if everyone would be up for it.
We could try it
What
eventually,
is
depending
it?
on what
Monster
it is.
Hunter?
No, it's Phasmophobia. It's fun. It's ghost hunting with
Oh, the
friends.
ghost game. I'm gonna wait till
So,
they update that a few more times. Also, your computer can't run it.
I
so,
know.
so Anna, how do you feel? Speaking of Monster Hunter, about the live action movie.
Oh my
Oh,
That is the correct
it's
reaction
supposed to be like
to.
it was supposed to be like a medieval setting, but they're like, let's teleport in the military from modern day Earth.
yeah. Oh my god.
So how
I
do
mean,
you?
It's
Becky
supposed to
and
be like a
I.
fantasy story.
So I have a question here. How do you make like a good version of this, but as a movie?
Well, I haven't played it, so Anna will have to answer that question.
Okay, if you would like for it to be close to the story, because okay, Monster Hunter, there's like already 6 installments of that game. Okay, and but the core story or core plot of the game is that you're a hunter, you're a dragon hunter. So I don't understand why they're saying, okay, the military got magically transported to this place wherein dragons still is a thing. You can play around with that because Monster Hunter doesn't have like a specific story. It's just that the main premise is that you're a hunter, you're a dragon hunter. You
Mm-hmm.
coexist with dragons. You were
Also,
not teleported.
I also feel pretty funny. Sorry to interrupt, but I think it's also pretty funny that the people behind this movie feel confident in Monster Hunter being released in theaters because Paul W. S. Anderson's that all of their movies only make money overseas. So like they don't care that the U.S. box office isn't giving anybody any money right now.
I don't know if it's gonna have like a positive. I don't know with Japan or other countries, but I'm telling you, if they showed it here, not every MH fans will be happy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm an admin in a local Monster Hunter group, and all the members there were like, and it's also by the creator of the RE movies.
Remember last week
Oh,
when we watched the last few when we watched the Resident Evil movie together?
oh, we watched Resident Evil Afterlife. Was it? Which one's the fourth one? No, that's the okay. No, we watched the fifth one. Which one was that? Their title. I hate that they all have subtitles. I wish that they just had fucking numbers. But
The one that came out in
we
2012.
watched what?
The one that came out in 2012.
Yeah, we watched that. The one where she's in a simulation so that they could rip off Walking Dead for like the first 20 minutes because that was popular at the time. And Anna,
What?
Barry, Leon, and Wesker and Ada all appear in that movie as like small
Extras.
cameos.
Okay, wait. Are you talking about the existing RE movies? Because
Yes.
there's a reboot.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the existing ones.
Okay. That sucks.
Yeah. Fuck, the guy that got
Oh
to
my
play
God.
Leon is like, he had like the squarest jaw ever and was like fucking 40 years old and just looked terrible. Like he was just this fucking, just beefy dude bro. And he did
I was
not look
talking
like
about
Leon at
that.
all.
I was talking about the reboot with one of my friends. He is also an RE fan for a long time, and I was like, I don't have anything to say with the actors. Okay, all I can say is that I don't like the actor that they casted for Leon.
Yeah, for the new one?
Yeah, for the reboot, the movie.
You don't like him or who doesn't? What? Sorry.
I don't like
Discord.
I don't like the actor. I mean, I don't know him personally. I haven't seen him from somewhere else, but I don't like that they casted him as Leon. And I'm
Because
saying
he
that
just
now,
doesn't
yes.
look like him.
Yeah, he looks like
I think he could look like him given the right
I
haircut.
don't know.
It's just hold on. Let me look up Neon actor.
Because he has a prominent. I'm not sure if I've seen. If I mean, that's the only photos I've seen of him. Didn't he have like a prominent jaw feature?
No. Let me find
Okay.
Resident Evil reboot cast.
Avan. I don't know how to.
Is that the character? Is that the actor who's playing Leon?
Yeah,
Evangelion?
Avan. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Here, I'll find a picture of him looking like Leon because I know I have seen them before. They just gotta dye his hair and like shave his
Remove
beard,
the
and
yeah.
I think he could pull it off. I mean, he'd be a little bit like darker skinned, but I think it could work. 'Cause the thing
Okay.
about Leon is that one of the reasons I think that he's like such a beloved character is because he has a very distinct look from most video game characters. Like he has a very specific haircut and like face. Like he does not look like a gruff, tough old military man. He looks kind of like a young wimpy like kid. And he like I think he could do that. I think we could get it. It's just because like if you think about this, just put the Leon haircut on like that face and it could work. That's a decent picture of him, right? It's just in all the other stuff, he's got like a full beard and his hair is like short, so he just like doesn't look anything like him. But I think there's a possibility.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's give him a chance. But
Yeah,
I'm
I think he could do it.
doubtful
I want to give
for
him a
this
chance.
movie.
I get that though, because Leon has like just this really iconic, specific look in all of the games that makes him like really memorable as a character. Because like most video game male protagonists all look like the same generic white guy with short black hair that's a little pointed up in the front. They all look like Nathan Drake from Uncharted, like all fucking, or they look like Cole McGrath with the fucking like shaved head. So like Commander Shepard or fucking Nathan Hale, like so there's only like really two distinct video game male designs, and they're just like one haircut away from each other. But like Leon has a very specific look, so like I feel like that's why a lot of people kind of gravitate towards him is because he's a little different, and he's also like not really the gruff, tough military man. He's kind of like he wisecracks, and he's like younger. He's a little bit more Spider-Man-ish.
Are you telling that he should have been played by Tom Holland?
No, no.
Oh my god!
Because he's sounding like Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
No, no.
He's playing Nathan Drake.
I'm sorry.
Right?
I am a Twitter stan. I have only two actors that I like because they're both conventionally attractive, and I think that they should play every single role in Hollywood.
Zendaya should play every character, and if you disagree, you're racist.
I think Zendaya should play the role of Queen Margaret, of the Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher of England, because it was kind of
Thatcher
racist.
Had girl power.
It was racist that they didn't cast a black woman in that role. Now that's something that's gonna get me canceled.
Oof.
I mean, come
Zendaya
on.
cast a new Ava Braun biopic. And all the Twitter stands like, yes, Queen Slay! She's gonna kill this role! She's so perfect! She looks just like her. She looks just like... And those put up, like black and white photos of both of them to, like... like, just completely grayscale. Yeah, she
act-
looks just like her if you like blur your eyes and close them.
Zendaya to play
No, Zach,
Dolly Parton
stop.
in biopic.
Hi, Stimpy. Hi, Stimpy. How you doing? You were all sleepy and kind earlier, but now you're gonna get up and just talk incessantly.
Zendaya to play Dolly Parton in new biopic. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna look up what Dolly Parton looked like so I can laugh.
You don't know who Dolly Parton is?
I've heard the name.
Where do you live? Underneath a rock?
What?
Like, Dolly Parton is one of the most iconic musical acts of the past, like, 100 years. Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
I don't know. I'm not real big in the music scene, man. I just like a lot of obscure shit. And even that, I don't really know anything about it. Like, I like the band Health. I couldn't name a single member.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cancel you on Twitter for this.
Oh no, David's gonna cancel me for not knowing who Dolly Parton is. And then, you know what? All of my fucking followers who are like 14 are gonna be like, I don't know who that is either, so checkmate.
What?
This is
I'm
how
sorry.
I win.
You know, I'm kind of stuck. Where do I go from here?
I disagree. I disagree.
You disagree on...
I'm just quoting fucking uncut gems at you like a lot this stream, and I don't think you've seen that, so you don't know. Shut up! I don't think you know what any of that is. Stop it! No! I'm busy right now. I'm working! I'm working! Damn it! Ow, my elbow. Come here, you! What do you
Stimpy the
want?
Mouse.
What do you want? What do you... No, don't do the mouth!
Meow. Stimpy, do the mouth.
Mow
No,
the
I'm
lawn,
holding
you
him,
fucking
so-
losers.
Come on, let's get on the train! David, you're real close to beating this game. Why don't you just fucking get your shit together and go?
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
Get on the train, David, you fuck!
Which train? Like the
You
train out
fuck.
there? How do I go through the door?
The video game train. Get in the video game train!
But the door won't open!
Go through a different door!
There aren't any different doors!
Xavier, don't you have like a music playlist on YouTube? Yeah. It's still public too. If you want to know what kind of music I listen to, I have that open. It's got like 1,000 things on it. That's all the stuff I listen to.
Oh my god. We have a storm coming.
David, I think you need to do something to knock the trains down so that everyone can load up into them or something. I don't know. Do a puzzle. Do the puzzle, David. Did you kill all the bad guys in this room? I feel like I remember there being a fight in this room.
I think I did this section wrong or something, honestly.
Chat, for those of you who've played this game, can you... It's been like 10 years since I've played this, so I can't remember what the fuck is going on. Can any of you help us progress?
I don't know. I haven't played this game, so I can't tell.
That's because you're a fake gamer, girl.
I'm a fake gamer.
Yeah, you only play video games for attention from men.
Oh.
I say this, but Anna's been playing video games since before I was born.
Yeah.
That's weird to think about.
I
I mean,
played.
not long before I was born, but still a little bit.
I played Game Boy. And then
PS1.
no. What was that? I forgot the name of that Nintendo console. The old one.
The NES? Nintendo
I
Entertainment System?
I can't remember. It has Contra. It has.
Yeah, that's an NES.
I have
Oh, yeah. I
no
can't
idea
remember
what
the
I'm doing right now. I'm so
Uh,
dead. And, like, oh, game. Okay, I'm gonna load the last autosave and I'm gonna see if I can resume.
Okay.
Was it this thing? Was it this console?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's an NES. That's
and
not
also-
an old person thing. I also had one of those.
Wait, there's one. I know I told you that I used to have it when we watched the Angry Gamer
Angry video game
YouTube.
nerd.
Yeah, hold on, let me show you.
Yeah,
Maybe you
Anna
know the
had
name.
played like we were watching Angry Video Game Nerd, and Anna had played like most games that he had been reviewing.
I think I don't know if it was released there in the US, but I know it was a bit. It used to be a big thing in Japan, so I have these. I don't know how it. What's it called? It just said family computer. That's it. It's from Nintendo too. It's an old. I don't know what this old is. Okay, I'm sending it.
Get this thing moving!
We made it.
Nah. Why won't it?
David, just fucking go open the door and press like the use button or something.
It
Or
won't
the
let me
handle.
do it!
There's a guy out there
Go back
getting
and get
shot.
her.
Go help him.
I'll stay here and guard the gate.
Skip it!
There you go. I sent it, Xavier. The Famicom. That's what they
David,
call
stop
it.
just
Famicom.
standing there. I will kill you.
It's literally telling me I'm supposed to wait.
You know what? That makes sense because you're closer to Japan than most of us over here
Oh,
are.
so are you saying it was released there? It wasn't.
Yeah, that's the Japanese
Oh.
version of it. The NES and the Famicom are the same console. It's just the
Oh,
I think
okay.
the
This is like
Famicom
the
is the
Yes.
Japanese version.
Asia, Japan. Okay. So yeah, I used to have that, and I also have the one that you sent. And then after that, I got to PlayStation, and up until today, PlayStation.
Go get more
David,
soldiers, Gordon.
I don't know where you need to go, but I don't think it's in this room. Get out of there. Go down that hallway. Alex was down there. Maybe that's the way. Go to I don't know. Or go to the very end of this and go try to I don't know, anything. Kill those little robot things. I think you just gotta defend the base. Yeah, just kill all these things. Do all the murder.
Take him to the train.
I'm old, guys. Does anyone of you know what my age is?
Your age
They're
is
talking-
207.
Because they're talking about the oldest console I grew up with was GameCube and PS2.
Oh, those are kids.
When PS2 was released, I
Like,
was already.
PS2 is like what my sister was raised on, and she's like 13.
Yeah.
Maybe she had the PS3, but she didn't really play it as much. I mean,
My
I don't know.
parents didn't want me to play video games, but like the earliest console that I can remember playing is the N64.
Oh, that's for me. That's barely. I still have like the old console, PlayStation consoles that we have, but they're no longer working. Like the PS1, the PS. Yeah, PS2. But they're all like broken, not working. The only working console that I have are PSP and PS4.
Don't worry, we have plenty of consoles over here.
Yes, I can play that game.
Which game would you like to play a game?
Would you like to play a game?
Did you just shoot that person after he jumped and then he died?
Yes.
Funny, stupid.
You're funny and stupid. Haha, got you.
No, you.
I've been defeated. I can't battle this.
Okay, they're safe. Go for it.
You know who else isn't safe? Your face.
You.
Your face! Why are you
Don't-
tired?
You don't yawn in the stream, Xavier.
No, you!
No, you.
Yes, you.
Hurry up, people.
It was touch and go for a minute there.
Oh no.
Oh,
Don't get-
yes.
Don't
Oh,
get shot.
yes.
No, it's okay. He's got 97% health. He can get shot all he wants.
No. Have you ever heard of a one shot in a game?
I haven't heard of a
No,
one-shot, but
explain to the audience what that is.
Well, I haven't heard of a one-shot, but I have heard of a one-punch before.
Shut up. Both of you, shut up. Everyone shut up.
Shut what?
I used to play the old version of Half-Life. Like the old version.
Oh, you mean the first one?
Yeah, the first ever one. I was in 6th grade.
Damn.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah, that makes about.
It's called.
that
It's
works,
called.
I guess.
It's called Counter Strike, but it's also the Half-Life game.
Oh, yeah. Counter Strike is a mod for Half-Life.
Oh yeah.
It's the same engine.
It was an
used to make like a
old-
multiplayer game. So it was a multiplayer.
How long ago it came, or it got released? But I remember I was playing it when I was in 6th grade. And man, how long ago was that?
Wait, when was the original Counter Strike released? Counter Strike released in the year 2000. Oh, Half-Life. Here's the cover.
No, not that. Like the old one, old one.
That is the old one. That one's from 2000.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The new one is the one that's just called Counter-Strike by itself. It's not like Half-Life Counter-Strike.
Man, I remember playing that. I also played, I don't know if you recognize, I played Cabal online. Man, I remember not eating lunch so I can have game money.
Did you just play the games at school on the computers?
Yeah, like lunchtime there's like a near computer game store near our school, and I would go there during lunch. I wouldn't eat so I can use my lunch money to play games.
Nerd. What a fucking nerd.
Anna, okay, we also had a question for you. We were talking about this before you showed up, so we figured maybe we could ask you.
Okay.
Did you ever have to look for porn on dial-up internet?
I say, when
Have you ever been in that scenario where you're looking at like naughty videos and pictures and it's going trying to load it and it's like going line by line?
No, because when dial-up is still a thing, I think a sophomore in high school.
Oh, okay.
I was 13 or 14. No can do.
That was before your porn watching days.
But I've tried using dial-up as an internet, or because before we don't have Google to search for schoolwork or information. We only have the offline encyclopedia called Britannica. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's an offline. It's a CD that you have to install on your computer, and you can search using that. We don't have Google. We don't have yeah, we don't have whatever else search engine that you know. I only know Yahoo before then, and I think MSN lately, but Yahoo was the first one that I, you know. Yeah, guys, I'm old.
Not that old.
I used to live in a world where cell phone is not a thing and the internet.
Okay, in all fairness, like cell phones weren't really a thing until I was like, my childhood had already, like, a decent chunk of it was already gone.
I didn't get a cell phone until I was in high school.
I mean, I had a cell phone, but it was like a shitty flip phone, so like, it was just so boring that like none of us wanted to do anything with it. Like, by the time I was like, I don't know, in high school is when I feel like phones had evolved to what they are now, and that's when everyone was like on them all the time. But circa like, I don't know, like what 2005 or whatever, no one was using our phone. Like my cousin's Sabrina explained to me what the concept of texting was, and I was like, oh, well, just call them. That sounds stupid. Why would anyone do that? Because we were like babies.
I was like in junior high school when I first had a phone, and it wasn't a smartphone. It was like also the flip thing wherein you can only send text and call someone, and it wasn't even a thing in my school. Like during my time, if you have a cell phone, people look at you like weird. Like, okay, you have a cell phone. It's a weird thing before back then. Yeah.
I don't know. Orange is pretty sus. He has a cell phone.
I might still have my first cell phone laying around somewhere in the house. I could probably find it if I went digging through some of the old drawers in like the kitchen. But yeah, it was this dinky little flip phone thing that like it still had buttons on it for the numbers and the letters. That's how old it was. You know what? This is dumb. I fought super hard to keep getting phones that had physical keyboards on them because I thought it felt more comfortable for typing than a touchscreen. I fought against the touchscreen stuff until like the phone before my current one. That's when I finally.
You know what?
fuck it, because I got like this shitty blue phone that had like a keyboard, like a clickety clackety button keyboard on it. Just because I like the feel of buttons, and I didn't like the way how stumbly and hard it was when your fingers are pressing, you know, not real buttons.
I was the same. Okay, believe it or not, the first time I got like a touch phone smartphone is like I think in like a year or 2 years after I started working. I always have like a cell phone that has a button or a keyboard button because back then I felt that touch phone or touch screen phone is stupid. It doesn't make sense. But the last phone that I used to have that has.
Oh my God! Look at that guy! Look at that guy! He's freaking out.
Died.
Hey, look!
Oh,
look!
Oh, look at him! Holy shit!
And you can hear him like bouncing around.
Oh my God, that's awesome! Holy shit, you can hear the black. Don't bump him!
What
Don't shoot him,
happened
Ray.
to him?
Don't walk. Go. He's like wedged in the fence, but he can't figure out a way to sit comfortably in it. You like pinned him. That's awesome.
Oh my God!
It's because I pinned him there with the you know, the molten rebar gun.
Oh my
You know
God!
what? That's
For him.
that resonates. I relate to that guy. I feel that. I know what that feels like. That's what I've been feeling for the past 10 months. That's been my life. Is that image? That's been how things have been going. If anyone asks me, Xavier, how are things going? That's the answer. No! You died. Now you can't play with the corpse anymore.
I know. I'm so sad.
What's the point of life if you can't play with horribly mutilated corpses shoved in between molecules?
Oh.
That guy was caught in the fucking Phantom Zone.
That's a funny scene.
There's this dumbass joke I keep thinking of lately. Where I keep in video games, before I do something that kills me, I scream, "Going Ghost!"
Why? I don't get it.
Because there's this old show, Danny Phantom, where there's this old show, Danny Phantom. It's like a superhero show where he's like, he can turn into a ghost and into a human. Like, he can switch back and forth, and he uses that as like a superpower. So he would shout, "Going Ghost!" before he transforms. But now I just do it before I die while playing video games.
But like, why?
Because it's funny.
Why is it funny?
The people in the chat think it's funny. Fuck you.
What? Who's in the chat?
They're laughing. People in the chat back me up because that was funny, right?
No, they're not laughing because it wasn't funny. So you're not as cool as you think you are, Xavier.
Golden Catman is fucking... He's smashing my wig live on stream.
He's what? You're what?
My weave is exposed as fake. Mr. Person says nothing is funny. Nothing is over!
He's got the right answer, you know?
Try and pin the guy to the fence again, David. Try to pin him to the fence. Let someone walk in front of the fence again.
So, like, not to get political or anything, but did any of you guys... Okay, so did any of you guys read about Trump's password for his Twitter account?
Oh no! Did someone hack the Twitter account?
Yeah.
What's his password?
But so somebody
great.
Okay, so like an ethical hacker out of the Netherlands hacked Donald Trump's Twitter account. Do you want to guess what his password was?
What?
MAGA 2020.
MAGA 2020. God damn.
Real? What does that mean? I'm sorry, I don't know. What...
Make America Great
his
Again.
Campaign slogan. It's "Make America Great Again." MAGA.
Oh.
Which he stole from Ronald Reagan, for the record.
It's on all those dumbass red hats everyone wears.
Yeah, so it's like the most obvious password. It'd be like if like Xavier made his password Godzilla Mendoza.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god. Wait,
don't.
how did you
It's
guys
not that.
know that? How did you guys know that his Twitter
someone-
was hacked?
somebody tried to.
Okay, someone was a hacker and wanted to test it and tried it and then got into it and then messaged him and was like, "Yo, you need to change your password."
Oh,
I wish it was someone who would have done silly shit with it, because that would have been hilarious.
If I were there, I would have just
You know
deleted
what?
his
That's gonna
accounts.
Could you imagine
gonna be a
if
crime.
someone? Could you imagine if? God damn it! Now I really wish you hadn't made that fucking joke, David, because that's not my password. But now assholes on the stream are gonna go start trying to log into it.
Oh,
And I'm worried I'm gonna start getting emails that people are trying to log in from fucking the Ukraine or something.
No, they're not gonna do that.
No. People are gonna try. I know it. You've spoken it into existence. God damn it.
Come on, your fans aren't that. Your fans are better than that.
Yeah, they can do that.
They're decent
Chat,
people.
don't do it.
For the most part,
You know-
except for Steve, but Steve knows what he did.
Who, Steve?
You know who he is.
I mean, just for the chat to know that if multiple failed attempts for guessing password on email, it will lock the account. So please don't. Don't do it.
And like, for like Trump with his Twitter account, he didn't even have like multiple step verification on. Like, you know, like linking it to your phone number or something.
Yeah, mine has that.
Like Donald Trump didn't even have that on the Twitter account that he uses to communicate to millions of people worldwide what his policies are. It's like, this is big, just boomer energy on this whole thing.
Wait, was it his personal or was it the
It's his personal account, but still, you know, it's
God.
like the fact that he's using his personal account to tweet when he's like, you know, the fucking president is a problem in and of itself. But let's not get too political here. I just wanted to make fun of him for being a boomer.
How
I made a
would you
joke
know
in my
that?
fucking Avengers review where I called Captain America a boomer. It's just a fucking funny little jab. And
Yeah.
I know he's not. He's actually the generation before those
He's
guys,
silent
'cause,
generation.
The whole thing, the whole, he's the lost generation. Yeah, the boomers are after World War II when everyone was like feeling better about things. So it was the baby boom. I get it. People didn't need to fucking correct me on it. It was a joke just because he's old, alright? You call people who were born in like 1985 boomers just because they don't like cell phones. Like, it's the joke, asshole!
Anyway, speaking of Avengers, it's only Xavier.
Oh yeah.
My brother, who's like the most neutral person I know when it comes to Marvel.
He loves comic book stuff. Like, he's not like super knowledgeable on it, but he just like loves all of the games and movies and stuff. Like, he's not like read all the comics like me, but like, you know, he collects all the merch. He watches all the TV shows and movies and games. He played the Avengers game. What did he?
After he finished it, he sold the game.
He immediately sold it.
Oh my god, I love it.
Because I saw him deleting the application on the PS4 and the save game. I was like, why are you deleting it?
That red dot is a heat seeker, right? When you fire the rocket and then turn your head, you divert it away from where you're
Yes, I do! Stop critiquing me.
Because you aimed it at the floor, and then we saw it around the corner just spinning in circles because you just freaked it out.
Xavier,
But anyway, yes, Anna,
Continue.
But yeah, he like I asked him, why are you deleting the game? And he was like, I sold it. I don't like it. I was like, that bad? Because I know a lot of people don't like Arkham Knight, but my brother loves it. So I know that if he didn't like
If
something,
he can tolerate Arkham Knight but doesn't like the Avengers game, then that says a lot.
it made me
I will
laugh.
admit that Arkham Knight is ultimately just kind of middle of the road, but like that's why I find it frustrating.
He loves that game.
There's redeemable aspects about it, and I said that in my video even. But
People
I don't know, like-
people don't. You see, people don't remember the more moderate side of your opinions because they like to have think about things in binary terms.
It's either you said it's the greatest thing ever, or you said it's terrible. And if I disagree with one of those, then I think you're a bad person, Mr. Online Review. Like, that shit is so crazy, and people get so uppity about that stuff. Like, if someone wrote a Twitter post going, Godzilla Mendoza was struck by a high-speed vehicle today, there are people who are so crazy about that shit that they would go, good, he gave Arkham Knight a bad review, he deserves that. It's insane!
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
People get so fucking just like obsessed with that shit. You know what? I finally cracked the code because like Avengers was a very divisive review, and a lot of people are really on extremes on that. And I'm probably one of the very few people who gave it a very middling review and was like, it's all right, not really too happy with it, but it's not terrible. And like, people in both camps have left mean, shitty comments. There were people who were like, you have no integrity. You're just saying you love this game because you got it for free. And then other people who were like, you have no integrity. You're an asshole who's trying to misrepresent the game and make it look shittier when it's actually great. And it's like, I'm getting both of those comments on the same video right next to each other. Like, the exact opposite ends of the spectrum. Which means I have completely learned now, without a doubt, YouTube comments are bullshit and only stupid people write them.
What does that mean about me? Because
There's
I've written
absolutely-
YouTube comments in the past.
Yeah,
And
me
all
too.
of them are terrible. So, it checks. But no, yeah, I'm so sorry for, like, spending all the time worrying about comments that I did. Because I was always, like, taking people's opinions really to heart if someone felt like I was too rough or too mean on something and they got really mean about it. But seeing literally both ends of the spectrum, the exact opposite opinions yelling at me on one video has just completely solidified my opinion to no longer care. YouTube comments they're all just screaming like 12-year-olds. And that's the thing, is all the mean ones, whenever I click on their profile, they're usually like a kid, like someone who's like 14, and there was one that really pissed me off because he was like, I don't even know what the point of you making this video was. You're just regurgitating opinions other people have had before. And I was like, alright, let's see what this guy's deal is. Shit you not, I clicked on his profile. I don't know how old he was, but his videos were just compilations of other people's opinions that he agreed with. Like he said, like the video would be like titled like, not everyone likes so-and-so popular movie. And then it would just be like a slow montage of like Rotten Tomatoes reviews or YouTube comments of people saying they didn't like a popular thing. And I'm like, you're gonna accuse me of regurgitating opinions when your videos on your channel, all of them, are literally just compilations of other people's opinions that you agree with. It's insane! There's like absolutely zero self-awareness.
He's probably a kid, you know?
He's probably a kid.
Probably
Or,
not.
you know what? I default to that when I think someone's acting kind of dumb because I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. But then I find out sometimes that they're like 25. Like that creepy stalker guy on Twitter who made like 15 accounts to yell at me for not being his friend. I just thought he was like a kid, and then he told me he was like 4 years older than me. And I was like, oh, this is actually not, this is not sad, this is scary. This was like a year before I met you, Anna.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I had like a stalker on Twitter who like, he even messaged David once asking David to come tell me to unblock him so he could apologize. But then when I did, he actually said, well, yeah, and he was like, well, actually, it wasn't me who wrote those mean things. It was actually my cousin who used my computer. And I said, oh yeah, what's his name? He said, I can't tell you. And I said, what's your cousin look like? He said, I can't tell you. So I blocked him again. Yeah, he was this guy with like a Minecraft dog profile picture, and he made one account, and he kept tagging me just like weird, gross pictures of things. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. He just kept tagging me like multiple times a day and shit I didn't care about, and I was like, hey, can you please stop doing that? And around like the 4th or 5th time I asked nicely, I was like, okay, dude, please stop tagging me constantly and stuff, because you're kind of clogging up my Twitter feed, because that was before I had a ton of followers. So like, I was just seeing pretty much only stuff from this guy on Twitter. And then he was like, yeah, don't worry, I got you. And then he did it like 3 more times that day. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, man, but I'm going to block you so I don't have to keep looking at all this, right? And then got angry, created another profile, and then started cussing me out in the comments of a live stream once. And then I just muted him. But then he created another account with a Sonic profile picture where he was like, trying to befriend me. That was the thing. He was trying to pretend to be a different person, but I could tell it was him because he made all the same exact spelling errors. And he was like, I looked at his account one day just to see what shit he was up to, and he kept tagging another YouTuber person, some girl who was a streamer, I guess, in a bunch of things. And she was like, dude, leave me alone. You're being creepy and like invasive and weird. And he was like, I'm sorry, I just want you to be my friend. And I was like, oh, he's probably just like a kid, you know. I mean, that's probably why he keeps misspelling words. And I just like tried to put up with it, but he just kept messaging me and then getting angry at me for not replying to messages like I was like obligated to him. And then I blocked him again, and then there would be this cycle where every couple of weeks, I would get a random DM on Twitter that's from him, and I would have to check thoroughly through his account and the spelling to make sure, and I could tell it was him every single time. And after, like, I went through like so many stages where I was trying to be like nice and apologetic to this person, and then eventually just turned into rage where like he would DM me and go, hey, why don't you talk to me? And I would just reply with, fuck you, leave me alone, you psycho, and then block him. And like, it got so crazy. And then around like the 15th account or something, I got so fed up that I wrote a report to Twitter. And I went through all of the DMs of people that I had blocked, which were all him by that point, and just took every single and then put them in the same report and said, okay, this guy has made all of these accounts to harass me and ask for my attention. Even going so far as to, like, you know, messaging David and also another person who I was seeing at the time, asking, hey, can you tell Xavier to talk to me? Which I thought was, like, really creepy and invasive. And then, like, after that, nothing. I think he got, like, IP banned because of that one, because, like, Twitter just checked and was like, oh, yeah, all these accounts are one guy.
Wow.
You know what? I've had so many weird stalker situations like that. That has happened, like, 4 times over the years.
What a time. What a world we live in.
Yeah.
I think David referred to it as parasocial relationships. Yeah,
it's a whole thing. I kind of want to watch, there's a movie about it that I kind of want to watch sometime. Have you heard of, it's called Ingrid Goes West. It stars Aubrey Plaza as, like, this weird, this girl who gets, who gets obsessed with, like, this Instagram girl and, like, moves to California to meet her and, like, tries to pretend to be becomes her friend under, like, false pretenses. and like all this shit.
That sounds creepy, but also kind of interesting.
It's like a weird, like,
Yeah.
dark comedy where, like...
It's sadly relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, I just, like... It makes it hard for me to want to make new friends on the internet, you know? Just because, like... for every awesome one, you know, for every Jacob or Joey or Anna or Brandon, like, I've made plenty of really awesome friends on like, people who, like, I would consider some of my best friends. And one of them I plan to marry. That would be cool. But for every one of those, there's always a handful of, like, the weirdos who think, oh, I like Xavier's videos, therefore him and I should be best friends. And then, like, immediately try to assert themselves as best friend in, like, the first 10 minutes of talking to me, and start asking, like, really overly personal questions and messaging me, like, every day, and then, like, getting angry at me for not replying. It's like, it's happened, like, I would say, there's been, like, 4, like, really bad ones that got, like, creepy and obsessive that I had to, like, go out of my way to deal with. But then there's just, like, I don't know, 10 to 20, like, smaller examples where eventually if I just, like, stopped responding enough, eventually it'd go away. But yeah, it gets difficult to deal with. Eventually I, like, closed Twitter DMs because I was just tired of, like, how often it was happening. Like, people wouldn't DM me to, like, ask me a question or show me something. They would DM me to just try to insert themselves into my life. And you know what? I know a lot of them probably had really good intentions, but, like, still, it started to, like, get out of my comfort zone. So I feel like I'm way less chatty and like, friendly than I probably was on the internet, like, circa 2016 when I started the Twitter. Or I guess 2017. It hasn't been that long.
That should keep them off our backs for a while.
What a world
David,
we live in.
have you escaped yet?
Yes.
Have you gotten on the train? Did you get on the train?
You guys coming?
Get on the train,
Go
David.
on, Barney. They're not after
Get on the
you.
fucking train,
Organize,
David.
draw their attention while
Get
you
on
get
the
them
train.
We can grab another train once you're clear.
Okay then. Don't take too long about it, yeah?
Here, let's open up this next track. Bye, Barney. Good luck.
See you when I see ya.
They're leaving on the train. We're going to the cool kids' place.
Oh. Where are we going? Is it the better train? It flies. It's not even on it. It's Astro Train. It's the flying transformer train that's a rocket.
Also, who is
Anna, remember
transgender.
Astro Train?
I'll get a
It's the Astro Transgender Train.
Astro Train, he turns into a big-ass train and all the Decepticons load up with Megatron's, like, 90% dead body, and he's like,
Wait, I still function.
and then Starscream's like, no, shut up, bitch, and throws him out the airlock, and he's like, Starscream! I remember this moment in one of the movies where, like, I can't remember what happened specifically, but I think Optimus just, like, shoots Megatron in the face or something, and it doesn't kill him, but it, like, mangles his face. So there's just, like, blood pouring out of his eyes and his mouth, and his teeth are fucking falling out, and he goes,
Starscream!
and then Starscream's like, oh, shit, okay, let's fly away, ah! And then in the whole next movie, Megatron's got, like, a giant hole in his head, and his face is all fucked up.
Serves you right for being friends with Starscream.
gonna
I want to
start
play
saying,
Phasmophobia.
you need a PC that can play Phasmophobia. And
I
also, it
know.
probably needs a little bit more updates, because right now that game looks buggy as shit.
I mean, it looks good. It looks
Like,
fun.
it's fun gameplay-wise, but it looks it's a little unpolished. I would like for them to update it a little bit more. I have hiccups and
It'd be
a
fun
little
if
more.
I'd like to
it'd be
update you so version 2.0 of you doesn't have hiccups.
Shut up.
It'd be fun to release that on PS4.
Coronation Starscream. This is bad comedy. Zach messaged me that fucking Galvatron quote.
It's not.
Who is Zach anyway?
Yeah, Mr. Person says, I love how Astro Train can hold all the Decepticons, including Robot Code, who's the same size as all the others. There's, like, mass shifting happening with the fucking Decepticons, because, like, Megatron can turn into a Transformer-sized pistol when he's, like, taller than all of them. Or Soundwave can turn into, like, a human-sized radio when he's a 2-story tall robot.
I identify as transgender, by the way.
Transgender?
My gender is a train.
Might as well have just said Apache attack helicopter, Jesus.
But there's at least a good pun there, you know? Like, trans, train.
Good in quotes. Cyborg Diego says, "What's up, bitches?"
I will say that Cyborg Diego needs to clean up his mouth. He needs to learn to use a less disrespectful way to refer to women.
David, hide behind cover and use the health thingy on the wall if you get shot a bunch of times. And also use rockets to kill the robot.
Why?
What are you doing, you madman? Look, there's a health thingy right there on the wall. If you get shot up, you can use it. You'll slurp the tube on it and be like... and it'll give you health.
Oh my god.
The fucking grapefruit method on this kid.
My dad is on the roof fixing our roof.
Oh, you know, my stepdad's on the roof.
Because I think one of the groups here in the bedroom, or I mean groups in one of the bedrooms is leaking. So
Well, my stepdad was closing up the cooler because it's about to snow in the next couple of days. It's supposed to be like 6 inches of snow or some shit. Like, it's supposed to be crazy, like all over the state.
oh,
And goddamn, that is so nice to know because that is going to help so much with the fire.
oh yeah.
You can't spread if the trees are so.
And if it's raining snow,
David, you save the rockets for the giant monster. You don't shoot them at the street guys that are like 10 feet away down the hallway.
Fuck off!
backseat gaming, Xavier. Backseat gaming is not allowed.
Crouch, you're getting shot in the head.
I know! Stop yelling at me! It's making me nervous.
Mr. Person in the chat says, "Call me Unicron because I make that keyword like it's cyber."
Jesus.
There's nothing sexier than man that says keyword instead of.
Who is the equivalent prime for Unicron?
Oh, it's Primus.
Okay.
Because he's in the core of Cybertron.
Yeah.
Remember when Unicron was
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it was because if he transformed, it would before the planet. They were gonna do that for the movies. They were gonna do that for the movies, and then they did get a new sequel greenlit after that, so they teased it. So the final scene on all of Michael Bay Transformers is just this giant metal like spike coming out of the ground somewhere in the desert, and then this cultist guy going,
Unicron will soon awaken. He is the Earth.
They never got anywhere with it.
What if that was true?
I don't like that being like a permanent thing. Like, it's cool one time to have a Transformer story where that's how it is, but I don't want Unicron to consistently be the Earth. I like when he was just a big Transformer Galactus.
What if that? What if we didn't know that, you know?
The Planet 4 was actually a robot.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
And you know what? The reason why the climate change is happening because he's trying to be awake, or he's slowly waking up.
I don't know. I feel like if he's a giant robot that can survive a climate change built around him, I don't think he really cares about climate change.
No, I mean the reason why the climate change is happening because he's slowly waking up. You know?
So what you're saying is that Unicron just has some kind of vent somewhere where he's just shitting tons of carbon into the atmosphere.
Yeah. That's why there are like out of nowhere there is a forest fire, earthquake.
So Unicron, so you mean like Unicron transforms up like a laser gun and just shoots a tree, and then it transforms back into the ground and goes, that'll get him.
No,
Just like, who started this forest fire? It was a gender reveal party.
No, because okay, there's a lot of earthquakes happening around the world.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's because that's how planets work.
Oh, look.
Yeah, and that's
Train moving.
We're getting on a train! Hey, we're getting on a train!
We're getting on the train! We're getting on the Astro train! Hell yeah!
We're getting on the train that's made of ass!
Here we go.
that's train.
Did it, Gordon?
Yes! So much ass on this train.
There's so much ass on this Astro train.
And
Look,
it's all...
David, turn around and look at the city. Don't look at the window. Look, turn around.
I wanted to look! I'm sorry, I just wanted to look at Alex Vance's ass, okay?
That's fair. That is fair. That is completely valid. But there's stuff happening. Look, yeah. See, it's cool. It's trying to catch you.
It's looking like
Oh
that
my God,
that
the
moment
transmission's
from...
going out.
It's looking like that tunnel it's looking like that ship from it's looking like Sauron from The Hobbit, you know,
Harry Potter,
the Lord of Narnia.
the Lord of Narnia, and the Witch's Cauldron.
The Lord of Narnia and the Seven Rings of Harry Potter.
The Lord of Narnia and the Chamber Pot of Secrets.
Well, that's a lie, because wizards didn't have chamber pots.
They don't have
They just
kids.
shat their
Wizards don't
pants.
shit. They just teleported to the
Those are two different movies. Why you guys
Shut up!
Wizards don't have chamber pots. They just shat their pants and magicked it away. This is canon. They shat their pants.
All wizards wear diapers. They just teleport every trace of poop. All the poop molecules are just teleported somewhere else out into the known universe. There's like a planet out there that's like the same magic coordinates, so like, and it has sentient life, and just every once in a while wizard shit will just rain on the people who live there.
Sabine, you're wizards.
Hey, I don't know.
They're
You know
gonna
that?
be like,
You know that makes me think of like, I don't know if this is true, but like a friend of mine told me about like there's like a manga or something that like exists where like the premise is like one day this like hole opens in the earth and then like everybody like starts like throwing their garbage in there, and it becomes like this whole like huge industry. Like there's a giant town around it, and everybody throws their garbage in there, and then one day like something sort of starts coming out of it or something like that.
No idea
I
what
don't
you're
know.
talking about. But you know what that reminds me of?
What?
There's a real town. There's a real town somewhere in the U.S. where a bunch of stupid people. Okay. Do you remember that Simpsons episode where they put all of their garbage in a cave and then burn it?
Oh my god.
Okay, so there's a real town where someone tried that, but they didn't realize that cave was attached to like a coal vein that ran like hundreds of miles underground and across the whole like city,
Oh my
and it just
god.
ignited it, and so it set the ground on fire underneath of the city, and so like this whole town just like is perpetually on fire like forever,
God.
and you're not allowed to live there now because like there's steam coming up from under the ground in the cracks, and sometimes sinkholes will just randomly break open and swallow whole houses, or there's just giant rips through the street that are like 15 feet across. So like that's actually the town that Silent Hill is based on. So in Silent Hill, it's not fog, it's like smoke.
Ashes. Yeah.
It's ash and smoke, and that's why there's all the fucking breaks in the roads that like you have to get around.
So anyway, guys, we reached the end of the game. It's been a nice 3 hours. So I think I will call the stream at this. And we had a lovely time talking with you all. Thank you so much, Anna, for joining us.
Thank you.
It
I
was
hope
nice
you had
having
fun.
You along, lady, but you're cool. You're a nice friend. I like you a lot.
So anyway, next week.
Shit. Oh.
Next week we will either, depending on what I decide and what everybody feels like, because next week from today will be Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I will either be doing an Among Us game, or I'll be doing probably some more Half-Life. And then if I do more Half-Life next week, then I will be doing Among Us the following week. So I'm going to see
whatever we do end up doing. Actually, I don't know. Is trick-or-treating allowed this year? Is that like I don't know. What's the etiquette for that? We as a society have not really talked about that.
I don't know.
What's going on? What's going to happen there? Because if there's a chance of it, I know my sister is going to want to go, and I would feel obligated to take her trick-or-treating because I do every year, right?
Yeah.
That's our thing.
So we will think about that. Some people in the chat are saying Half-Life horror custom map. Are there such things?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty. You could play like a scary game, like fucking Cry of Fear.
How would you feel about playing?
Something.
How would you feel about playing some what's the word? Playing some
You can do it, David.
I can. It'll just take me a second. How do you feel about playing some Amnesia next week?
Have we played that before?
I played it when a couple of weeks ago with just William when you were when you weren't here. Yeah. So we could do it again with Xavier.
Yes, play it. Amnesia.
Because I still haven't finished that, and I would like to sometime. So we
I'll
could
probably play that.
either
Would be, like thematically appropriate for the day.
Yeah, we could do Amnesia next week, and then Among Us beginning of November. And Zach is saying that he won't be available next week, so that is another thing that I can put into consideration. Is we'll need a party, and whether everybody will be involved because they might be doing other shit.
Yeah.
So that's something I will consider, and follow me on Twitter for the updates. Be sure to subscribe to this channel as well as my main channel if you haven't already. And thank you very much, everybody, for keeping us company this Saturday night while I played some Half-Life. It's been fun. We will see you in a week.